join us when they arrive.
And I'll go on to the.
They don't die first.
Yeah. And I'll open up the stream as well, just so we've got the viewer. Which thing was that one? Alterra. Okay, so let's load it up. Hello there.
Alright then, I guess we should probably get started.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, welcome back to the world of Alterra for the continuation of Friday's one-shot Rise of the Rapnoids. Actually, I should probably just put my mic closer, shouldn't I? Previously, our players were captured by unknown assailants and spent the entire session freeing themselves from a cell. That's it. That's the update.
Yep.
We continue on. Yep. As they have.
When only 1/3 of your party can speak the same language,
Yeah.
it makes it
quite
that a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
It does. It does. The players managed to successfully escape via an open window and down the side of a tower, in which they saw the vast expanse of the map that you see before you now of Terro Falls. This seemingly almost ancestral lizard folk dino heritage population. No idea how to refer to that.
Descendant?
But yeah, I guess so. Dino people. We're just gonna call them dino people. That's what they are. They're dino people. Let's quickly reintroduce our characters for this shenanigans for today's session. Robin Locks, why don't you start us off with a quick sentence or two?
So, hello, I'm Ben. Tonight I'm playing Robin Locke, who is a Robin Hood warrior type. Steals from the rich, gives to the poor, keeps a bit for himself. And yeah, that'll do. Sneaky boy.
Beautiful. Hopefully you'll have much more. You'll have many more chances to stealth this episode. Jinxie.
Hi, I'm Neil, and tonight I'm playing Jinxie, ex-cultist, trying to be enlightened with some god that she has not found yet. And hopefully she'll survive.
Fair.
And she's a monk and a Dixie girl, and apparently the strongest in this party.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So. And the only one who can speak the language of the natives of the settlement.
Yes.
It's a good thing that you're a charisma bait. Wait a second. And TR playing a piece of puzzle will join us later. The what was piece of puzzle? Rogue Artificer?
Rogue Artificer,
No.
also Tabaxi as well.
Rogue Artificer Tabaxi, who
No, sorry, Monk Artificer.
that's what they
No.
were.
Pieces of rogue.
Are they rogue? Or are you a monk?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
two of you are rogues. It's Jinxie who's full monk. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Akazi. I will be your DM for today. Let's get into it then. So, previously, you jumped out the window and you descended down into what appears to be a still lake on a what's the opposite of like a plateau? What's like a valley?
Yeah, Valley.
Yeah.
You're in this little valley dugout watered quarry for all intents and purposes. The smoke clouds indicate where the rising bluff, and in between the smokes, you can kind of see the rising mountains. The rest of the city is up on this plateau where this church settlement on kind of rises up with part of the building upway, kind of connecting into the higher plateau. It seems to be spanning that height up into the rest of the city. Obviously, the walls around you give way to the mountain cavernous walls that make up this underground dwelling. there appears to be a ramp down south that leads up into the kind of rocky border of this cavern, as well as the river or the lake going south. There appears to be some strange dark bone ruins to the south, as well as various stone and pretty much what you see on the map. Now the party is still in plain view of the window. They have landed down in the water.
Mhm.
Or I guess technically you could land on just like there's probably like a small amount of land at the base of this tower
Mhm.
or the base of this prison complex before you get into the water. But I will leave it up to the party in a second as to what they want to do in terms of taking cover, running for their lives, doubling back, doing any of that such. Remember, you are bloodied, and these guys appear to have sedative darts that can knock all but Jinxie out. Jinxie will just shoot to death.
I mean, Robin's not blooded. He's only took a little bit of damage.
Well, that's fair. Jinxie's bloody because they weren't going down with the sedative. Robin has to worry about the sedative.
Yeah.
Jinxie's not near enough death's door.
But with that, what would the party like to do?
Um, I say, fellows, we should find a bit of cover somewhere. See if we can get to those. Looks like a little bit of a tree clearing or something like that over there. So, like this sort of area. Towards that church-looking thing. Temple.
That's about the best idea you've had.
I come up with plenty of good ideas. I mean, look at my
Not
last
back
one.
there, you never.
Not back there, no, because I couldn't see anything. So I was,
Neither could I.
um, and to be honest,
Anyway,
most of my ideas tend to be based on my bow and people not seeing me, not the other way around.
So the party is hightailing it into the kind of
yes.
withered and the decaying crops of trees to the what is that, west? To the west.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to get into the church.
As you do so, you hear the sounding of an alarm behind you. Seemingly, the fact that escaped prisoners have escaped has now made its way through the building, and the rest of the guards have sounded the alarm. As well as that, not only do you hear shouting in the undercommon tongue that Jinxie is able to identify as your common shouts of cries of prisoners have escaped, of search the surrounding areas, they've gone through the window, search the building. You also hear the sound of what sounds like high-pitched barking. It's not quite barking; it's more like an animalistic wailing to it, but definitely the sound of some high-pitched creature. It seems that the prison has some form of animals on hand that you might want to account for as the party goes running into it, and you can hear the sound of search parties coming out of the castle to come give you chase. First of all, I'm going to need everyone to give me an athletics check to see how long you can keep running for,
Athletics. Okay.
just as you'll want to get a certain amount of distance between
9.
you and the prison before you do any sort of stealth.
Just need to refresh my Beyond page. And athletics is an 18.
18.
All right. So, as the party is running
Actually
through,
works quite well. It's like 18's double what I got, and I can move faster.
Yeah.
well, you can move faster, but only for a short period of time before you start getting winded. Unfortunately, you're not used to maintaining this running pace for what will turn out to be 10, 20 minutes as you make your way through these crop of trees.
We could
And
class this crop of trees as a forest.
as you start to distance Robin, Robin begins to catch up as you begin to huff and puff. Robin seemingly unaffected, keeping at a nice, good, consistent, maintainable pace as they start to outrun you, Jinxie. You begin to fall behind. You can hear the sound of a search party with some form of animal coming after you.
I'm gonna quickly cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
So give us plus 10 to stealth.
Now, for stealth to succeed, you do need to find some form of cover, and so far as you're running through this this very barren forest, it's a disservice to even call it a forest, given that all the trees are stripped of any leaves, and they're all thin and stick-like, and that sort of lanky, strangly forest style. There is not enough cover in these
My
trees for.
foreign clothes are similar colors to those leaves.
I mean, I ask if it's a forest because,
The favorite terrain.
yeah, it's favoured terrain. So it
Uh,
means difficult terrain doesn't slow the group's travel. Group can't become lost even except by magical means. Remain alert to danger even when you engage with another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace, or while alone. You find twice as much food while foraging, tracking creatures, blah blah blah.
So all of those would apply. I think that's fair. Uh, but I think default cover rules would come into the stealth aspect of it. Simply because there isn't enough cover to obscure your line of sight as you look back through
Crawl
the
under
trees.
those leaves, nobody would notice.
But that's the thing, there are no leaves.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's no foliage, there's nothing to cover around, the land is generally quite
I thought
flat
it was
here.
leaves lying on the ground. Just crawl underneath them. It's
Nope.
just a big pile of leaves.
Like I said, this not even really a forest. This barren crop of trees is just that. It's just sticks sticking out of the ground. There isn't enough cover if you actually take to try and stealth from the search party that is coming after you. So you have a couple options. You can, of course, attempt to try and search for maybe some rising of like ground or maybe like a little bump here or there where you could try and stealth, but you would need a perception check to try and find so. You can just try and run straight for this church building that is directly ahead of you and hope that there isn't a patrol of guards in there. Or you can dive into the still lake and hope that you can outswim them, I guess, or hide in the water. What option would you like as Jinxie is beginning to fall behind?
In that case, Robin's going to quickly look around to see if there's anything like I say, a little bump or fox den or something like that that we can quickly jump into and hide.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, given this is quite a barren land and you're looking for anything that would help you stealth. This is going to be a
That's
quite
low
high
roll.
DC.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to use my destiny point on that.
Okay.
That's better.
Ah yes.
Damn. Okay, so as you're looking around, you're looking for anything that might provide you the ultimate cover, which obviously by default makes it really hard to spot, given that's kind of the point of it. But you do find what looks to be a burrow of some kind off to the northwest area of the trees that you wouldn't notice if not for your innate sense and favoritism with the forestry domain. With that, you're able to find a small barrel that is just large enough for the party to come into. I'm going to need you to roll me a d20 fate check to see if the creature that burrowed it is still home.
Rolling.
That is a 12.
Ooh.
12. To fair, 12 is still in your favor, so we will say that the home is currently vacant.
Cool.
Maybe not completely abandoned. It looks like there is some fresh tracks around here, but they're a good couple hours old. So seemingly whatever creature burrowed this is away at the moment, either foraging, which they're probably having to go quite a field in order to find sustenance, given the lack of nutrients in this area. But with that, the party is able to dive into this small burrow, and I'm going to need each of the characters to give me a stealth check.
Okay. Says
And I hope that the stealth check is higher than whatever is tracking you.
Goody.
That's plus 10, so that's 30.
There is still a chance the party might fail.
27.
Oh, plus 10 from the fast
Oh,
match.
37.
Yeah,
Because I
damn.
get advantage on stealth.
Okay, so even with their passive tracking of like a DC 18. The party is so goddamn proficient at covering their tracks that as soon as you enter into this burrow, you've practically gone into a whole new world. I'm half tempted to say you've somehow phased into a different reality, but you haven't. However, you are also all experienced when it comes to stealth and covering your tracks. You not only dive into this burrow, but you make sure to obfuscate any tracks behind, deliberately kind of running and hitting as many like rock outcroppings or hard terrains, bouncing off trees here and there as you need to, so as not to leave a trail to follow.
Pass
Not
without
only
trace
that,
takes care of that already.
oh yeah, so it does. You don't even have to like flavor that. Uh, You do it out of habit, and then any print you leave, pass without trace just erases. Because you also all naturally roll high as well. But not only that, you also are able to obscure the trail of your scent. Also, kind of dampen your own breathing to keep it calm and steady, and channel in such a way that you also quiet any sound as much as possible, as well as the magic buffering that as well and kind of dampening it. So that, for all intents and purposes, you not only seem to have this aura of stealth around you, you seem to have almost an aura that's reflecting people away from you. As the party successfully takes cover in this little cropping out here. As you spend some time in the hole, you can hear the search party pass by the reasonable distance. They're far enough away they won't detect you. But if one was wanting to, you could probably take a peek out, given that you do have magical enhancement, and try and see what you can see of the party. Otherwise, you can stay in your little hole. What would the party like to do? Would you like to try and catch sight of the search party as they pass? Or would you like to
Creasy's
stay
got
hidden?
the best perception.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure, why not? Why the hell not? Let's do something. What do we do? A perception you
The
wish for?
party has landed down and has been running through these barren crops of trees and have done one hell of a perception and stealth check to find a burrow in the barren landscape from which to hide as the search parties pass you by. There appears to be a mix of these dragonoid or rapnoid, not dragonoid, these rapnoid dino people that
Dino.
you previously saw, as well as unknown creatures that you've yet to catch a line of sight on. Would you like to take a sneak peek at the search party, or would you like to stay hidden in your hole?
Sneak
You
peek,
also
see what we're
have,
doing?
yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. With pass without trace, you can do so with minimal risk.
Ooh, nice.
I don't even know how to flavor this one. You pop your head out and just have like a fucking 360 view. You just like flick your head up like a meerkat, like immediately twist around, scanning anything, and pop back. And in that such a short period of time, you just have memorized the entire landscape. With that, you not only recognize the search parties encompassing several of these rapnoid lizard folk ancestral noids, but you also recognize. Actually, go ahead and give me a nature check while you're at it, piece of a puzzle. But you recognize these large, similarly scaled and kind of forward bird-like creatures also stalking with the party, kind of sniffing at the ground and air as they seem to be some form of tracking animal. A tracking animal that you would actually recognize as a velociraptor.
Mm.
So it seems
You
like
up there? What do your
the
cat eyes see?
We established this. We're not cats.
Of course, you're cats.
Talk about this later.
Honestly, honestly, something. Right, there seems to be raptors. You annoy me so much. Raptors there.
Okay,
Hate you.
and what's a raptor?
Do you know what a horse looks like?
Yes.
Okay, take away 2 of the legs. Do you know what a big lizard looks like?
If you take away 2 of the horse's legs, it's just going to fall over.
If anything, I
What
feel
if
like
you
it's a.
shorten the body?
Do you know what a chicken looks like? Well, imagine a chicken from your nightmares.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, that's better. Imagine a scaly chicken, but teeth.
That's fine.
Claws.
You can just kick them. Kick them. They're only small.
Mm, I would rather not.
They're
It
small,
seems
small dog-sized
dangerous.
creatures.
Okay, so I'm just going through putting back all the stuff I have on.
Okay. The party would probably want to spend some time as the search parties go. You're probably fairly confident in how well you've hidden, and you're probably obscuring the entrance to this burrow as well, given how ridiculously high you all rolled.
Mhm.
So you can spend a period of time in order to get a short rest if you'd like, in order
Yep.
to continue equipping stuff. How long would the party like to remain in hiding? The search party will probably call off, at least for the immediate vicinity, after an hour or two. They'll probably double back once or twice to really kind of try and pick up your tracks again, but realizing the futility of being unable to find any trace of your presence nearby, we'll probably switch to a broader net and search.
I mean, I would say definitely a couple of hours, just so we know that they're not in the area anymore.
Sure. Then you have a couple hours to go ahead and reattune things, re-equip things, and it is a little cramped and awkward, given that there is 3 of you in this small burrowed hole. And while you're at it, let's have Jinxie roll me a. Actually, let's have each of you roll me a d6.
Decent.
We'll say you guys are there for at least 2 to 3 hours, and we'll see if any
4.
ones happen. See if the creature returns.
5.
All right. After 3 hours, no creature returns to its burrow. And the search party seemed to have ceased about an hour ago.
I mean, Pass Without a Trace itself only lasts like 10 minutes as well, but we're already hidden, so there's no tracks or anything. So we should be fine.
Yes, and everyone feel free to go ahead and roll some dice for your short rest.
I do have 3 potions of greater healing.
Do you? Did not get taken?
I would, yeah. Chris did put a list of things that got taken by Rapnoids.
Yep, and it isn't on the list.
Ah,
Interesting. Was it on the list you gave me? Probably just
It was.
overlooked.
I sent you a screenshot. It was entirely on the list.
Fair. Then luckily for you, not only did the DM miss it, but so did the search party. It was. I like to imagine you just have it in like really weird bottles that just it looks like alcohol.
It's like it's an old gin bottle or something.
Yeah, given that you're just like recycling bottles. Copper has like a bring your own bottle and fill up on healing potions.
It's pathetic though. I think it's just a tabaxi thing though. Just reusing random shit repeatedly.
That's fair.
So I will use one of those to get a bundle back, and then I'll use a stack of hit dice as well. Oops.
Ooh, some good healing in
Yeah.
there. Look at that.
So not up to full, but just under 100. Or is everybody trying to get to full?
I just had to roll
Just
2
trying to get to a decent
because Robin
above
took, like,
bloodied.
yeah, Robin took 1 dart and just went unconscious.
Robin's gonna really have to avoid taking any darts in the future.
That's most of it. That's fine. Yeah, nearly to full. That'll do me.
As the party heals up and re-equips to all of their items, with the exception of those conveniently missing from your arsenal, what would you like to do? You are aware that we should probably go over a little bit more details now for your missing NPCs. You do know that you came on this expedition into the Underdark of Savara with 3 other members of the expedition. The leader of the expedition and the man hired to lead the group into the Savara Underdark to study and procure strange minerals and plants is Tiberius Thunderfoot, a massive, bulking, and hairy figure of a Loxodon. Very reminiscent of a mammoth Loxodon of old. The other 2 members of your party are the scholars that were brought along with their specializations in both the natural wildlife and animals of the Savara Underdark, as well as the plants of it. And that is Alotl Gerinu, a wood elf scholar who has this who wears her hair back in a bun and constantly carries her glasses around on a chain, but never seems to actually wear them. They seem to be just there for ceremonial purposes. And Zinris Anoshas, a rather what you've found to be pretentious Triton who seems to have a natural fascination not only with plants, particularly plants of a poisonous nature. And the 3 of you were hired as muscle and protection for the dangers within the Underdark. I'll go ahead and paste those 3. Those are the 3 NPCs that you came with on the expedition, and you are technically being paid to protect. And there's a clause in your contract about, bringing them back alive for for extra reward.
Yeah.
Okay,
With that, obviously,
that's not too bad. They can be hurt, and we'll be fine.
and obviously there is your missing items, where your half plate is currently with the captain of the prison that you were just in.
Who I will
A
kill at some
swole-
point.
a swole-balled figure of a Rapnoid.
Now that we seem to have, now that we have reacquainted ourselves with our items and no longer in that weird dark room, do you think that our charges are still in that prison, or do you believe they're somewhere else?
But I think it's weird that they weren't with us. I mean, do you think they obviously said that we were a threat and the others were more brains to be plundered?
Possibly. I mean, they probably wouldn't stand up much against being tortured. I mean, the Loxodon maybe, but the other 2 definitely not. So they may have had information with subtracted from them in one way or another. But there's part of me that believes that they still may be in there.
In the prison.
Yes.
Well, the guards never mentioned anything about our colleagues.
I mean, we didn't really
Just-
ask about them, so...
Just us that were savages. Never referenced them either. We were the ones that came here to eat their babies and plunder King Rex's treasure.
I mean, these do seem to be a primitive sort of people. And the Loxodon seems to be of a primitive breed. So he may not be a savage in their eyes. They may recognize him as a also primitive race.
Piece of puzzle. You would know that from the very brief glance you got off of the hovering blue arcanite, especially given your proficiency in blue arcanite with your backstory, that what they were able to project and the way they were able to manipulate it was quite advanced artificery.
I think maybe savage is a wrong term. Maybe just, a race that we haven't encountered a lot.
Oh, I didn't. Well, they did seem a bit savage, but I didn't call them savage. I called them primitive.
I'll give you a shrug.
Tomato, tomato.
So I suppose the main question is, and a question you must look in your heart is, do we care enough about them to save them? Or do you care more about getting back and just saying, it's okay, we just chalk this one up to another adventure gone slightly wrong?
I mean, there is a high reward if we do bring them back alive. I'm always up for more money.
Yes, but for us to bring them back alive, we have to be alive.
Is that how that works? Oh, damn.
Yes, there's always a catch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are either going to go back to the prison, which honestly seems like a mistake, or we try and find them somewhere which I imagine would be, wherever the king is. If they recognize them as not being primitive, it would be there.
I suppose, yes, they may have taken them to, what do they call them? King Rex?
Yes, that's what the guard called him.
Do you know,
With
if
their
we start a coup
education,
on
they
the
may
way,
have. With their education, they may have been taken somewhere better.
It's possible. Would we
so
see?
where shall we start?
Would we see this castle thing from where we are?
You would have seen it briefly as you were falling.
Okay.
Currently, where you are, you would not have a line of sight of it.
Right.
I was thinking more of, hey, what's this one? I'm a different color, therefore I am special down here.
That's where Rapunzel is.
Yeah. Dildo Tower.
So we have 4 choices: the prison, the castle, the littered castle, or the dildo. Which one shall we hit?
Or there's this one.
Do not see where you bit.
It was down by
Um,
Terror Falls in the bottom left.
Where it's got tarot.
Yeah.
So, which of the large structures would you like to go to first?
I feel this one is sort of like an ivory tower.
I'm saying wizards, if they don't have information, usually have good stuff after you've killed them. And that
Oh,
looks
yes.
like a wizard tower, if ever I've seen one.
Yes.
I mean, I've not really dealt with many wizards, so I'll take your word for that.
I mean, they always have interesting stuff regardless.
Right.
So,
I
shall we
can
make our
confirm
way?
this.
All right, so it sounds like we want to go to the Penis Tower, as we've called it.
The Tower
Yes.
Le Dido.
All right, how would you like to get up onto the plateau? As I mentioned, you're currently in this little valley, still lake area with waterfalls tumbling down the cliff face that divides the map. Now, it looks like this cathedral or shrine building does extend up and is connected to buildings on the top of the plateau. Or you can attempt to find another way down. You could probably climb. There doesn't look to be a waterfall all the way at the south. You could potentially climb up there. or there is a ramp that leads up to the opposite cliff face, and you could try and parasail across the opening. How would the party like to make their way?
Is there
Sneaking through
3
the
shields
church.
lying around?
I mean, sneaking through the church is probably the best option, best and quickest option in a minute.
Yes.
Oh, fast and dirty is how we got opened.
I mean, we're all pretty sneaky, so. And plus, I can do another part of that trace again.
So, as the party leaves their burrow and begins making their way through the crops of trees, keeping an eye and ear out for any more search parties, you eventually get to the crest of a very small hill, taking your time to make sure not to be seen. And from a distance, you can make out the outline of the large chapel doors at the front of the building, with several large stained glass windows decorating the mid-tier of the tower itself. The windows, your classic religious iconography that doesn't appear to open in any way, just there for display's sake. As well as that, there appears to be openings in the tower further up on the same level as the kind of the rest of the buildings that go onto the plateau. So it looks like you might be able to climb in that way if you were to climb up the side of it. There are also appear to be 4 of the Rapnoid guards, the more feral and with manes of feather looking lizard folk that you previously encountered, taking guard in the front door. It looks like the way they're kind of standing, searching around, it looks like they're on alert, most likely because of the recently escaped prisoners. And they are kind of keeping a glance around, and if you watch long enough, you will see pairs of 2 kind of patrolling, coming back to the group, and then another 2 kind of splitting off to kind of go around, and they're just kind of patrolling the left and right off the tower itself, presumably in case somebody were to try and climb the tower. What would you like to do?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Fire away.
I can make myself look like one of those guards. We could literally just walk in through the front door and have you 2 as prisoners. And say that I'm
Still missing currently.
well, I was gonna say that I've captured you and taken you
Yes,
to
but you
King
as
Rex.
Robin
Oh,
is
they
still
don't.
missing.
I mean, they don't know that. So,
Yes, but you're walking in with the 2 of us.
yes, that's
They
fine. They all they know the prisoners have escaped. They've not been, as far as we know, they've not been
yes,
told
only
how many
I
prisoners.
mean only the 2 of us have been found
Yes.
thus far. Is what I mean.
Mhm.
Yes.
I can say that I've captured you, and I'm taking you to King Rex to be put to death.
Uh, just a question. When you change your look, when I do it, I don't learn the language. Do you learn the language?
No,
Okay, you think you can bluff past them?
potentially.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, so in that case, would get some rope out of a bag, loosely tie your hands, just so it's like you can easily like slip out of it if needed. And then I'm gonna cast disguise self myself and look like one of the Rapnoid guards.
Okay.
And
How are the other 2 looking? Are you bounding your arms, or are you just walking behind them, making them walk in front? What are
No,
the
like
guards seeing as you approach?
our hands are like bound before us. Like it looks very impressive, but it's like we can just slip the hands out, kind of
yes,
impressive.
yeah,
Okay.
it looks very tight, but is in fact not tight at all.
It's like
Describe to
mittens.
me how you're approaching.
Um,
What are the
Robin,
guards seeing?
Robin's walking towards them, bold as brass, with the two prisoners behind him, and he's
Peace,
gonna and he's just gonna like go to walk past them.
Peace is limping and looking bedraggled,
Hmm.
Right, well, I would say
given
as
Boris
you
Johnson hair.
as you do so, as you come into approach, obviously since you're kind of just walking up to them, they do catch line of sight of you a short distance away as you approach, so they do have time to kind of like get into a defensive position. You can see them kind of they don't seem to have any weapons to their side other than the blowgun dart and the small quiver at their side of the darts themselves.
Hmm.
But they seem to almost ready themselves, one hand hovering above the ground, almost like how, like when you put like your hand on a toddler's head or something,
Hmm.
and it's just like they're kind of just hovering that without out the toddler. You put your hand like on like a ledge or like one of those stop pole things. I don't know what they're called,
Yeah.
but it kind of look. Hmm?
Robin walks up, he's gonna hold like a hand up to like say "Don't fire" sort of thing.
Oh yeah, and as you approach, they are going to call out to you in Undercommon a something that you are unable to understand.
Um,
could
r- r-
could we
um,
not try this? Robin moves his lips, and Jinxie's looking down and replies for Robin.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, go for it.
All right. Is Robin okay with this?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to need what the hell is ventriloquist check? I guess performance. Performance, unless there's anything else you want to try.
I mean,
We're gonna go with
be
performance to the
deception
default.
more than anything, wouldn't it?
I will let you do a deception or a performance check.
I'll do deception. Well, actually, it'd be more.
Oh,
Yeah, deception.
Robin, give me deception. Jinxie give me performance or deception, your choice.
They're both the same.
Well, I need to check what their insight is. They are wisdom based.
Yeah.
So, question: would my blind sight see anything?
What's the range in your blind sight?
30 foot.
30 30. No, there's nothing invisible or anything. They've just got one hand. Oh, that's what it's described. They got one hand just hovering up midair at their waist, kind of just outstretched, almost like they're about to like. You're not quite sure what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to just be hovering their hand in midair, but all of them seem to be doing it. The other one is curled in a like claw attack, ready to like strike out if they need to.
Mm-hmm.
They had like their hand on an invisible creature or something.
Yeah. Or like a hand on like an invisible, like large walking stick or pole or something.
Mm-hmm.
But there is nothing there in your blind sight. They are not like holding or like leaning on anything.
Okay. In that case, as they're doing that, I'm just going to trigger my true sight for one of my charges.
Mm.
You
That's
do so.
120 feet.
Is there any illusions nearby? No, and the thing that they're thinking, there's nothing there to your true sight either.
Just double checking if I had invisible dog or invisible dinosaur.
No, you're safe in that there is nothing invisible nearby. I don't think there. I guess true sight, you get that they're like small kind of movements on the peripheral of your vision. As we're gonna say, true sight allows you to see the spirits that are more abundant in Savara, kind of dancing and playing around the forests. Um, Generally, they're only visible to people with strong spiritual connections uh to the spirit lands. Which would be a part of the kind of ethereal realm. But given True Sight lets you see into the ethereal realm, it makes sense that it would allow you to see the spirits.
Would Jinxie be able to see the spirits? Ex-cultists.
were you part of a cult of the spirits?
Well, there was a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah, probably not. If you weren't from Savara, then most likely not. Only spirit cults would only be in Savara, and spirits themselves is a Savara-specific phenomenon,
Fair enough.
or at least a
Thought
stronger
it was
in
a
Savara.
general thing.
No, there are plot and lore reasons for why Savara is much more drenched in the idea of spirits.
Fair enough.
It's also where you can play the custom homebrew class of the Shaman for Alterra Magic Unlocked. But anyway, we digress. So, Deception 14.
And just a
Checking
measly
what-
21 performance.
Like the ventriloquism, like the projection of the voice, beautiful, masterful. Quite frankly, Robin, you have to like remind yourself of like that was my voice. Where did it come from? That maybe you're used to Jinxie ventriloquisting the whole party at some point. As for the insight, they seem to be a little skeptical. They seem to like furrow their brow, kind of like staring daggers into your lips. The deception doesn't seem to. They seemed a little bit suspicious of the deception, but given how high the performance was, they seem to go with it. But getting onto the actual words here, because this will matter to kind of convince them. Jinxie, you are aware that they called out, "Halt! What is the meaning of this? Where are you going with these prisoners?" How would you like to respond?
Like, I found these out in the was it plains? In the valley.
Yeah, Valley makes sense.
I'm just taking them to be dealt with appropriately. These were the only two that I could find. I don't know where the third one is yet. Party's still looking.
And they respond with on whose orders are you and where are you taking these and on whose orders?
The captain's orders.
Okay, you're gonna try and invoke the captain. They seem to kind of tilt their head a little bit at you, a little bit suspicious by the way you're wording things. Obviously, that you aren't native here and you aren't familiar with the custom or traditions of these people. It's no doubt you are wording things in a strange manner or referring to people in ways that they wouldn't be addressed based on the hierarchy. So this is going to be a high DC check, since you have a lot working against you. But let's see here. Technically be a combination of both, so I'm going to make both Robin and Jinxie give me a persuasion or intimidation check. Either one of your choice. As you attempt to...
Not proficient in either, and they've got a lovely big 0 on them, so it doesn't matter which one I do. 17. That's
the
not
combination... The combination of your demeanor and Robin, or the combination of Robin's acting and demeanor and physical kind of presence mixes with Jinxie kind of force of voice and emphasis on various words. So a intimidation or persuasion from Jinxie as well.
I'm gonna destiny point that.
As I need to double, their insight was they did have proficiency, so it was +8, which would make their average. I guess their DC. I guess their DC would be 18. It is a high check, yeah.
Could I use lucky on that?
Yes,
would
but
I not
I'll let you use lucky as well because you're using a resource. You only get to use one lucky and one destiny for these things.
That's what I was
we're not-
asking, if I could use lucky.
Oh yeah, I'll let you use it. You can use one of each. You just can't use two of the same thing, just to limit how many times rerolls you get. You are having to roll though in order to counterbalance the 17. You will need a 19 to bring the average to 18. So you are looking for a 17 or higher on this. Let's see if you can do it.
O'Neill.
I got a 7.
Ah.
The one fell off.
Fortunately, the guards seem to suspect that something is not right here. They may not know what isn't right, but they are suspicious of hell that there is something not right here. As how would they handle it? They probably tell you to like get down on the ground, put your hands behind your back. You know, standard disarmament procedure. As they you know, they're not going to do anything just yet to see how you react first. So they're going to call out to you, get down on the ground, put your hands behind your back. How does Jinxie obviously being the only one who can understand this? The rest of the party picks up on the hostile tones now entering the guard's voice, and it's very evident as to what's happening.
I guess we'll get down to one knee, but try to
Was he
prepare an
telling
attack.
the whole party?
Yes, and addressing particularly Robin as well, suspecting that there's something not right with Robin. Either maybe a charm dominating them, or like a charm person or something, or maybe they've been possessed. They are familiar enough with spiritual matters, and possession and charm isn't a foreign concept in this land. That they suspect
Jinxie
that
will,
there could be foul afoot.
Jinxie will comply with their request.
As the rest you see Jinxie kind of getting down on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the hope that
Seeing
they'll
these
follow
two,
suit.
Yeah. Seeing these two going down on the knee, Robin will follow suit.
At this point, they probably called over the two on patrol. So there's 4 plus 2 gives them 6. Let's see, there's 3 of you, so most likely as 3 of them kind of stay at a distance to you, kind of keeping an eye on you. You can see them, especially those with higher insight, you can see them watching your arm, your hands, watching your mouths, waiting for any sign that you are about to do anything to attack. They're effectively holding their action to make the first attack. The other 3 are going to start approaching you cautiously. And bringing out rope from their a pouch on their hip, kind of looking at your hands, most likely to bound your hands. What would you like to do as the 3 of them are approaching you?
So there's 3 approaching us and 3 further back.
Yes, 3 keeping watch at a back at a range, just to see if you do anything. Deliberately looking for any sort of deception of movement.
Robin's going to whisper, "Do any of you, are either of you able to, I don't know, attack it with magic or anything?"
Can do a wave, but it's going to be a big noise.
I have no spells.
Just saying, if you guys end up getting captured again and put back into the cell, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna just. I don't know. That would be so hilarious.
I have a new plan. Let's get captured
know how
and
to
get put
break
back in the
out.
cell.
Sir, I've got a cunning plan.
But yes, they're quickly approaching. They are now up to you, and they are beginning to kind of crouch down and aiming towards your hands. You do not have a lot of time if you'd like to do anything before they bound your hands. What is the party doing?
Thunderwave.
Ooh, you're gonna thunder wave them?
Yeah.
Now you will only be able to get the 3 that are approaching.
I'm
Since
okay with
only got
this.
safer range, and the other 3 were deliberately staying back. But with that, are you subtle casting Thunderwave?
I do not have subtle cast.
Or doing anything that would allow you to subtle cast? Because
I
if
mean,
not,
I would be like doing it. Well, the thing is, Thunderwave. What actually is it? Is it just verbal and somatic? So I don't think they understand what I'm saying. And the somatic, I would be, trying. My hands are hidden inside the rope, so they wouldn't see that.
fortunately, that's not how Alterra casting works. Alterra
It's worth a
casting
shot.
requires it is. But Alterra casting, the way it works is that you have to effectively draw the glyphs in midair in the correct ratio and formation, and you actually create a light show of glyphs that are the same color as traditionally your soul or your, which is represented by your eye color.
Okay. Honestly, did not know that, so it's okay. I'll
Also,
do
why you
that.
can't stealth cast in base D&D either, and why subtle cast is a thing.
Can I make it at least look like I'm showing them I'm already bound?
As light starts to form out of your hands, probably not.
Yes. Then I'm just going to Thunderwave them and take the hits that I take.
No, that's fair, but with that, I think that calls for initiative.
Mm-hmm.
As we're gonna do the two. Oh, there aren't currently any tokens on the map.
Yeah, we've got tokens
They're
on
up
the
by
map.
the
That's right.
church.
No, I was just reading the turn order. Why? Oh, there you go. I have to click the button now. It's not just right click. We're gonna call these melee guards.
S advantage?
Yeah, for some reason it rolled 3 d20s, but the second one was a d20. It was a natural 20, so
Call them range
it is
guards.
still 25.
Oh, jeez.
The melee guards get a 22. And a 14. The range guards will be actually, rather than having the claw, will be get their hand on their hip for their bloated gun. All right, is that all three of you in here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the three ranged ones were holding their action. So they are going to use their reaction at the beginning of your casting to effectively, they almost seem to like very quickly crouch down and slam the ground with their open hand that was in that held position. And as they stand back up and lift their hand off the ground, you can see the conjuring of a spectral outline of what looks to be a small totem pole. That, as they reach the top of the totem pole and take their hands away, materializes into a physical wooden object.
Mm-hmm.
As they have used their totemic magic to, let me just see what one they're going to use. Totemic magic.
May I recommend the magic of surrender?
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
no, that makes sense if they're worried about. Yeah. Okay, so one of them is going they're actually going to each do a slightly different one. Because they have trained and practiced this. They are an elite guard. Or at least they know basic jamming craft. Oh, I feel like, do I want these guys to be this high level? It is a 7th level one. No, yeah, I'm not gonna do that one. That one's too high level for them. These are gonna be the tier 2 guards. Okay, so they're gonna do a surging water, howling wind, and the binding earth then instead. As suddenly the ground around you begins to crack, and you can see what looks to be almost small, almost like the very chibi earth elementals, only like a hand span, kind of rise and kind of wiggling from the earth as they seem to grasp for anything nearby, and the ground itself seems to kind of almost become like this waving mud-like substance in a 20-foot area between you and the ranged casters, so kind of just catching you at the edge of their range. As the ground around you and the tower becomes difficult terrain. The second totem begins to spew out these chibi little air elemental spirits that begin to swirl around the party in between the all of the NPCs, all of the guards, and yourself, causing disadvantage on all ranged attacks.
Hmm.
And the final one seems to be a cluster of these little chibi water elementals that seem to just kind of float around the guards themselves. Not doing anything visibly obvious. But with that piece of puzzle, it is now your turn, as you are able to cast your Thunder Wave.
Okay, well, it's con save of 14.
Con save of 14. Do. Do they have proficiency in con? They do not, so this is actually quite a low save. They only get
Low
a
save for me.
1 to this. 14 is the highest.
Only the 14 makes it then.
And I also need some way to track health. So just gonna... Oh wow, the 14 makes it? Damn.
Not really a caster. It's more of a get people away from me thing.
Okay, how much damage?
8.
Alright, so 2 of them take the full 8, the other takes 4.
Oh, the 2 that failed do get pushed 10 foot into the terrain.
Alright, so the guards get pushed back. However, they are still looking pretty well. As you saw earlier, while the guards aren't the toughest, given that they are still only grunt guards, they have a little bit of health to them. They are a little bit trained up. That is then the melee guards, and they seem to be unaffected by the difficult terrain as they charge back forward towards the party. One of them already being there is going to take a swipe at the party.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to take a swipe at that piece of a puzzle, given that they've just launched out an attack and seem to be the most dangerous so far. These guys are unaware of the specifics of your previous battle. So with
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
I've got my displacement cape back.
Oh, so you did. You managed to pick it up off the guard who was previously using it. All right, that's a +7 to... Oh, that's a critical miss for his first one, but he does get 2 swipe attacks. And this is for each one until they hit, correct?
Yep.
Then that's a +7. Does a 12 hit?
Nope.
Interesting. And that's since there's 3 of them. Let's have the other one split out the attack on the other 2. You push them back 10 foot, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they can run up the 10 foot. They were already pretty much by you when you did so. Let's have a go and have one attack Robin. Robin, is there any reason the squad has disadvantage?
Don't believe so.
Then a 11 to hit.
Nope.
And a 25.
Yep.
Alright, as they come in, they have Savage attack. So this one gets to do a d12. 14 slashing damage as he comes in and scrapes along your back.
Okay.
Oh, you're also still prone because you got down on the ground. So let's just see if he crits.
Okay.
He does not crit. He missed the other ones as well, anyway. Alright, and unfortunately for Jinxie, this time I remember that they have a advantage on this. Jinxie, any reason they have disadvantage as the third one comes in to attack you?
Because secretly they like me.
Oh, yeah. So, a 11 to hit.
Misses.
Well, that's a good thing then for a piece of puzzle, yeah. And a 16 to hit.
Misses.
Damn. Man, these guys are... You're doing something better against these guys. Is now the ranged casters, however, and they are going to take out their dart guns, and they are too seem to be unaffected by their own totemic magic, as they are going to make a ranged attack against the party. For a +7 to hit, they get 2 darts for this as well. Since Piece of a Puzzle is the only one standing up right now, they're going to take the opportunity to try and take them down.
Yep.
Now, they will have obviously disadvantage on this. So let's go see what they'll do. A 11 to hit.
Miss.
And a 9 for the first one.
Miss.
A miss for the second guy on his first attack. However, a 19 for that second hit.
19 hits.
Alrighty. Now, if I remember correctly, this is a D4
And a con save.
Constitution saving throw for 3d6 poison.
What?
Let's see. Did you fail by more than 10? It was 16, so you did not. So you take 1/3 of the unconscious condition as you begin to get woozy again, and take 12 poison damage.
20 total.
That's the first guy, and finally the third guy is also going to take a pot shot at you. Since you were hit, he actually doesn't have disadvantage anymore. So I'm just going to do 2 flat rolls here for a 25
Yeah, of course.
and a natural 20.
Well, son of a bitch.
So 7 piercing for the first one and 2 Constitution saving throws, please.
Okay.
For a 11 potentially poison, depending on if you make it.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
close.
Yeah.
You take 11 poison, so 7 piercing, 11 poison for that first attack, and then the crit. Oh wait, no, sorry, you don't. It doesn't double for the poison because it's a save. My bad. We'll just take the 9 poison there, which is half to 4. So 7 piercing and 4 poison for the second attack.
Yep, got it.
All right, and a second fail for the for the unconscious condition. If you, well, technically you just failed by more than 10. No, you only failed by no, you failed by more than 5, so you get 2 for the first one, and then you failed by more than 5 for the second. So unfortunately, that is you unconscious with the poison condition. Since if you fail by more than 10, you get 2 instances. Or if you fail more by 5, you get 2 instances. If you fail more by 10, you just go unconscious. All right, that is the range guards. As to the rest of the party, piece of a puzzle has dropped unconscious next to you.
Mm-hmm.
The party once more failing to stealth by or talk their way through the guards. It occurs to you maybe you should just stop talking to these guards.
Yep.
You don't seem to have a very good track record with it. Robin, it is now your turn. The party is in a
So-
precarious situation again.
Yeah, Robin's decided that the range guards are more dangerous than the melee guards at the moment. So he's gonna stand up. That only cost me like a couple, like 5 foot of movement, I believe, because of athlete. Yeah, only cost me 5 foot. That's fine. Because it's my first turn in combat, my dread ambusher goes off, so that increases my walking speed by 10 foot as well.
Ooh.
So I currently have a walking speed of 50 foot minus the 5. So do I have a good vantage point on the guards at the range guards in a minute?
You have direct line of sight, yes.
Direct
Given
line of
that they're just there's nothing in between the two pair of you. You're in an open field, effectively, at the front of the cathedral.
Cool. So just going to use my +1 longbow. Disadvantage, yeah.
Yes, because they are in effectively the wall of wind.
Wall of wind. Okay. So first shot is gonna miss.
As you it shoots forward, you just see the couple little like air spirits grab it and just fly off with it.
Yep. Second shot for a 24 to hit.
It's too quick even for the spirits to interfere.
Yep. So that's 13 piercing and 21 sneak.
You also have disadvantage on the attack, however, which negates the sneak attack.
Ah, shit, yeah, sorry. So
Yeah, it'd have to be a flat roll if you're getting it another
13.
way.
Yeah, just a 13. Forgot about that, sorry. So that's just a 13 piercing. How's he looking?
Is 1 second. I need to check if he's technically bloodied or not. For the sake, he's near bloodied. We're just gonna go with that.
Near blooded.
Yeah, we're doing maths here.
Okay. And then I'm gonna use my Dread Ambusher attack.
I think he's exactly bloodied.
Yeah.
Or like just like 0.5 above bloodied.
For
Oh, is that accurate?
Hmm?
Is that 34 damage?
No, it's a miss. It's a nat one.
Oh, right. There's a whole extra attack above it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is unfortunate.
So in that case, I am going to bonus action disengage and move away from these melee guys.
That's fair. Where would you like to go? Are you fleeing
So-
back into the trees? Are you going around them to like try and get like maybe some partial cover from the cathedral?
So I'm gonna go behind, move back and go behind a tree. So I've got a bit of cover from the range guys, because I know I'm not strong against their poison.
That's fair. Given how like thin the trees are, they would only ever provide like half cover rather than 3/4.
That's fine.
But unfortunately, that's just the best you could do without like running towards the cathedral wall or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that your turn?
And yeah, that'd be my turn.
Jinxie, it's your turn. You're currently prone on the ground, and there's a guy hovering over you, slashing at you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to jump up.
You do so. It takes half your movement.
Unless
And
you've got
I
athlete
would.
as well.
I don't.
Go be working on your
This-
jumping jacks.
And
You do so.
I will attack him.
All right. Go for the attack.
There's 24 hit.
Yes, 24 hits or 15 AC, definitely. And I assume let's go for the top one. Yeah. So you're hitting
Well,
into your quarterstaff.
Yes.
All right, you hit in for 7 damage.
Uh,
Are you doing any form of stunning strike or anything, or are you just kind of pummeling him?
I did see something that I need to double check. It's an arm strike. I will attack him again.
All right, go for it. Make your second attack. You have bloodied this guy with your first attack, by the way. But he'd also already taken some thunder damage. So go ahead and do your second attack. Let's see if you hit and how much damage you do. As you come striking in for a 17
17.
hit. Ooh, let's do a con save for him. Ooh, as with 1 hit point left, he falls unconscious.
I'm just
From
looking.
shock.
Can I stunning strike him?
He's unconscious. There would be no reason to. He's
Yeah, right.
unconscious. You've already won. He's dead, Neil. Neil. He's dead. Don't kick him while he's down. He's dead.
He's dead.
Why
He's
not?
already
You
dead.
have no idea what
Kill him!
these
Kill him!
slimy lizards have put me through.
You just get up and you just punch him. Then you punch him again, and he just stands there for like a second, processing the sheer impact of your hits, and then he just collapses backwards and is unconscious.
I
For
got
a
a dot on the, Roadhouse.
Yep.
Go rip his
For
throat out, but and stop myself.
a natural 1 on his shock check. He was going down. As you turn to the other 2 melee combatants, what would you like to do? You have still a bonus action left.
Uh,
You can use a Fist of Fury. You can dash away and leave your party to die. You can dodge. What would you like to do?
I'll do flurry of blows.
Yeah, go for it. Make your 2 extra attacks. As you come in with your what were you again? You were a Tabaxi, right?
Yeah.
How does your Tabaxi flavor its unarmed strikes? Obviously, an unarmed strike can use any part of your body. You've just whacked with 2 quarterstaffs. Are you like using your stick to thing your legs up to kick them or something? Using your tail to box them, headbutting them? How does Jinxie do unarmed strikes?
On this occasion, it would just be high kick to the side of the head.
Yes, sir. And also go ahead and roll me your second attack. Feel free to just click that button twice, Neil, whenever you're doing these. Because Roll20 takes some time to thingy
18.
in. As you knock out the second guard with your 2 hits, Jinxie is left there, just 2 fallen comrades. The final guard, the one who hadn't taken the full thunder damage, is kind of just looking back and hisses at you, and then sort of beats his chest as he stares directly at you. He seems to have taken a direct confrontation with you, and in Undercommon, almost ushers what sounds like kind of a prayer to you of, by the might of King Rex, I will fell you, savage. As Jinxie, I believe that's your turn. Feel free to do a little bit of movement if you would like. Piece of a puzzle, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
The floor passed out poisoned. I would like to sleep comfortably.
You succeed. It is now the melee
Awesome.
guard who is going to ignore, I believe their previous target was Robin, is going to ignore Robin and is going to charge at Piece of a Puzzle, which, ooh, let's see what melee stuff I gave Shaman again. Because they do have some fun fighting styles. They just mostly use their claw attacks, don't they? Interesting. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, gonna make him a master of the elements. That's fair. Okay. That's bonus action. They are going to kind of. You see them outstretch their hands as they are charging towards you, and they seem to be uttering something in that. Piece of the puzzle is too unconscious again to recognize as primordial.
Why are they attacking me on the floor?
They're not attacking you, they're attacking Jinxie. They're just uttering primordial. And you're the only person in the party who understands primordial. Or at least a dialect of it. As suddenly these, what look to be almost dark bluish spirits begin forming around the claws on their hands, and they kind of flick it towards you as the energy hits you for the... Ooh, is there no saving throw for this? As they cast Hex on you.
Okay.
No, apparently Hex does not have a save. Okay.
Nope.
Interesting. They're going to just thingy Hex at you and then attack you with their claws. For a 14 to hit.
Misses.
Oh, nice. And a 20 to hit. A modified 20.
That hits.
All right. As they thingy in for 8 slashing damage, plus the extra necrotic damage. And it's a D6 necrotic. So 8 slashing and 2 extra necrotic damage. And they are also going to give you disadvantage on. Let's go strength. Strength is the default that you want to go for here, as they appear to be challenging you directly in the honor of their king. It's now time for the ranged guard, and the ranged are gonna. One of them is gonna support the melee guard, but the other two are gonna try and get into a position to try and shoot at Robin. Now, with Robin's extra movement, you're able to get back into a pretty good position that was really difficult to skirt around. So I'm gonna give them or give you a +2 to your AC for half cover.
Mhm.
And let's do those two first. They don't have any reason for disadvantage or anything, so this is just going to be a flat attack. A 12 to hit.
Nope.
A 25 to hit.
Yep.
So they thingy in for the 7 piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. So how much piercing was that, sorry?
7 piercing and potentially 9, potentially 4, depending on the con save.
Con save.
And this is for the first of the ranged.
Advantage. So that's an 18.
You succeed the DC 16, you only take the 4 poison.
For
And the
poison.
second guard comes in for a 24 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, and a natural 20. God,
Gonna-
these guys are really thinking naturally 20, you guys. Apparently, Rapnoid Shaman Guards are the way to go in the future. 7 piercing and a Constitution saving throw for that third attack, effectively.
7 on con. No, that's a fail.
It is failed, but it's only a fail by more than 5, so you only take 2 instances, effectively, of the unconscious. You need 3 to actually fall unconscious. And a final Constitution for that crit. If this one is less than 16, you will go unconscious.
16 exactly.
Then you succeed. Take the 10 piercing for that last one, and this is 7 poison for the final attack. So that was for the third attack, 7 and 4, and for the last attack, 10 and 7.
Don't think
I
it's
know for the
far off.
As for that, the third guard is going to help out against Jinxie, and
What did Jinxie do?
they're supporting their ally, who you've antagonized and is attacking you. They do have spells, so I guess let's go ahead. Jinxie, are you wearing any armor or anything?
No,
No armor, huh?
I'm unarmored.
Unarmored. Oh, it's a shame. Inflict wounds is a melee one as well. Ah, no, they're calling the souls. That's what they are instead. Weird. Oh well, let's just Witch Bolt you. Witch Bolt is fun. They begin casting a first level spell if anyone wants to counterspell.
Oh god, counterspell.
If anyone wants to counterspell you. First level spell for some reason.
Sleep on the floor.
I need to make a ranged spell attack against Jinxie. So this is with their spellcasting modifier, which is also the same as their strength, so it's +7. A modified 20 to hit Jinxie.
That hits.
Alright, as you take 1d12 lightning damage.
Was that
You take
12?
1 lightning damage. And then there appears to be almost a slight thread or crackle of energy connecting you back to the ranged caster per the spell of the Witch Bolt. But that is going to be the ranged guard. Robin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Robin is going to step out from the tree. He's going to bonus action cast Zephyr Strike. Gives me
Oh.
advantage on my next attack roll, and it will deal extra d8, so just ignore that. It was just me casting the spell. Whether you hit or miss or not, my walking speed increases by 30 feet. So it's currently 70
nice.
foot. Ridiculous speed. So, yep, so he's going to aim at the guard that he did the first time. So it's a flat roll because it's cancelling itself out.
Yep. And what rogue were you? Do you have another way to gain sneak attack?
No. So it's a 19 to hit.
Because guard, the other melee guard is in melee with Jinxie, so you would get sneak attack on them if you wanted to.
That's fine. I'm focusing on the range at the minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jinxie can take
19
that
hits and takes the 9 piercing.
and it would,
There.
yeah, it doesn't get the sneak, does it?
Nope.
No. Okay. So
Unless you were a swashbuckler or something.
Swashbuckler doesn't get on range either.
Was it just melee for them?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna second shot him as well. And that is a dirty 20 to hit with another 10 piercing.
With their 5 hit points left, you do manage to take them out with this shot.
Cool.
Alright, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my bonus actions. I'm gonna move back behind the tree again.
Alright. Jinxie, you are in melee combat with a Rapnoid raptor humanoid creature that's just hexed you and is now trying to claw you to death. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna claw him.
Very adequate, yep. Go for it.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me
I
if
think
you
the
just
14 misses.
the 14 does just miss, but the 19 will hit for 11 points of damage. They are still standing, however. What would you like to do?
Double check how Hand of Harm works.
Ooh, Hand of Harm.
I think it's similar to inflict wounds.
When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 key point to deal an extra 1d8 plus 1 necrotic. And use
Alright.
this feature only once per turn.
Alright, well, go for it then. You can spend your key point and go ahead and do the extra damage. Since you hit with an unarmed strike. Which is what a claw is.
4.
Alright, it takes 4 extra damage, is still standing, but is looking pretty bad. Would you like to
You
do
can't
anything?
heal me as a bonus, can you?
Ooh.
Or is it
Don't.
your action?
It's an action for his poison thing.
Then never mind.
Would you like
I
to
will
do
spend
the...
a key point to take the dodge action. It's my patient defense.
Alright, you do so. They'll have a disadvantage on attacking you. Piece of the puzzle. How was your sleep?
Undisturbed.
Nice. Melee attack guards. The melee guy is going to continue in at Jinxie. Do I have any other bonus actions here? Ooh, actually, was there shamanistic ability bonus? It was a bonus, wasn't it? Got a. But they're also. It's a default. You just get it. Did I give them any calls? None of these are actually helpful to them right now. I guess they're just gonna keep that fire. As a bonus action, the guard fighting you is going to almost like while you guys are kind of like circling around each other, trying to keep each other in your line of sight. He's actually gonna kind of like almost like he's doing capoeira dance. Is gonna like sweep down and is going to smack the ground. And as his hand takes away, you can see this beautiful fire totem appear between you and him, as it is now the central point of this fight. As he is then going to kind of swirl and sweep around, spinning on his hind leg, and is going to come in and slash at you again. For a 17 to hit.
At me.
Yes, there's a 17 hit.
Misses.
Misses. Shame he doesn't have anything. He gives him advantage. Oh, he actually has a disadvantage too. I guess double check to see if he gets a 1. Who knows? He would have missed anyway. Oh, does a 10. A 10 also misses. With
Yes.
your with your dodge, he unfortunately does not able to get a hit at you, as that is his turn. There's now a fire totem between you and him. The range guards are also going to come in. The one that was previously supporting him, hilariously, was also the one that Robin took out. So the 2 other guards are going to keep focusing down on Robin, given that Robin is slowly just picking them off. And you know, the melee guard is doing all right against you. Maybe, who knows? I feel like they should split. Actually, let's have one of them go and thingy you. Hilariously, you also took out the one that was concentrating on Witch Bolt. So one
Alopecia
thing
may deal 1 damage to me.
Yeah, let's do the one against Robin first to see if they hit. You have +2 to your AC. They have no reason for disadvantage, so this will just be a +7 against Robin. So a 10 to hit Robin.
Nope.
And a coming in for the second half, a 14 to hit Robin.
Nope.
They are then going to come in and take their dart against Jinxie. And they will have disadvantage on this one for their +7. Ooh, even at disadvantage, that is still a 21 to hit Jinxie.
Yeah, 21 hits.
21 hits. Unbeknownst to them, you are immune to the poison damage. However, you still take 6 piercing damage. And since they
Could I not
are...
like deflect that?
Yes, you can. You can see it now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a projectile if you would like to try and deflect.
I would.
All right, now I believe this is a D10 plus stuff.
1d10 plus 19.
Plus 19.
You
Yeah.
are level 15. Holy crap, it's plus your monk level. Is it plus your monk level?
I think it's something silly like that. Yeah.
It's just saying when you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 110 plus 19, 1d10 plus 19. If you reduce damage to 0 and have a free hand, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack, as with a monk weapon, with range 20, 60.
So it's got to
Yeah,
be something like your
it's plus monk
proficiency,
level.
your bonus. And... So why is it?
Yeah, it's plus dex plus monk level.
Ah.
So, assumingly that you've maxed out your dex, you already have a
dex
15.
class level.
So you'd have what, +4 dex? So yeah, plus 19. Yeah, you automatically succeed at reducing the damage by 6. Would you like to use a key point to throw it back?
I would.
Go ahead and make me a ranged attack. As if you were just making a normal range, so it'll be an attack plus dex plus. So just go ahead and make me an unarmed attack.
Alright, unarmed attack.
Yeah, use the same modifiers.
Would it not be a disadvantage going through the wind?
Oh, it would be a disadvantage, so roll it twice. Let's see if you manage to hit him back. Yep, even at disadvantage, you hit him back. And this is...
Jinx is annoyed now.
You do it as if it is a monk weapon. And a monk weapon,
yeah.
I believe, is a D4. Does it ever go up from a D4? It does go up from a D4, doesn't it? Your martial arts weapon die is a D8, which is what that is. Okay. So you legitimately do more damage to them than they could ever do to you with that dice.
Would they take the poison?
Yes.
Just for fun.
Just need to double check if
Just for the lols.
they got any resistances because of their features, which I don't think they do.
I mean,
No,
I
not
think
at this level.
lizard men themselves are resistant to poison, I think. if they're based on lizard men.
Yeah, they're modified stat blocks, you know. Raptor people are effectively just lizard folk, right? That's what that is. They're
Sounding very
ancestral.
much like Robin, DM. Sounding very close to the wind.
But lizard folk do not actually get resistance to poison. So go ahead and roll me 3d6 poison damage.
10.
Neil, why do you do more damage with the enemy's attack? With your own? Why are you doing more damage than they're doing
Don't forget
with
that
their own
they do
attack?
need to
I
make a
don't
con.
know.
They do need to make a con. They fail, and luckily they don't fail by more than 10, so they've only got 2 instances. But they do begin to feel woozy. It'd be hilarious if you knocked them out. And that was the second one. Robin, it is now your turn. You've just seen Jinxie like hit back the middle guard
Before
with their own weapon.
Robin does anything, Jinxie would have just like hissed at them.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, rest Robin, what would you like to do?
So yeah, Robin's seeing Jinxie like go at these guys. He's gonna just keep going for them as well. I'm gonna don't want to instead of a strike again. So I'm just gonna step out from the tree again and just go for the next range guard. And
Go for it.
first shot at disadvantage is a dirty 20 for 9 piercing. Second shot
You take out the second guard.
is a 29. And that's a 13 piercing for the next one.
13, you bloody the final ranged guard.
Cool. And then
And
I'm
also,
going.
given the order I did this in, that would be the wind totem has gone down, so there's no longer a windy barrier between you.
Nice. Then I'm going to step back behind the tree and bonus action hide. Or go behind a different tree, actually. But still
You can-
hiding.
Yeah, mechanically, you would need to obfuscate your vision from them, or their vision from you, in order to hide.
Is there like a little hill or something?
By which you mean, you have to do it in such a way that isn't like super obvious where you've gone, because that's how hide works. Hide isn't magic. You need to actually have a believable like ability to hide.
Actually, I think I
You
might
can't
do.
step behind a bus and be gone. Tempting as it is.
I become the shadow of the tree.
Oh no, I've not
Yeah,
got
unfortunately,
the
open plains is not somewhere you can easily hide. You want to go find some corridors in an alleyway. But is that you? Unfortunately, that is the downside to hide. To power balance it is it doesn't really work in open fields.
Okay, that's fine then.
All right, as we move on to Jinxie, you and this guard are going at him. There is a fire totem between the two of you. What would you like to do?
Is that fire totem blocking me from getting to that ranged guard?
Nope. The melee guard or the ranged one? It's not blocking either. It's just there.
I'll finish off the ranged guard.
You mean finish off the melee guard who's right next to you?
Yeah, the
Okay,
melee
right.
guard I meant. Sorry.
I thought that's what you meant. I just wanted to double check. Go for it. Roll an attack.
God.
Unfortunately, the 12 misses, but you do come in for the 21 and take the final melee guard out.
Hey.
As the fire totem, as you hit him, your claws seem to do a little bit extra fire damage before the totem vanishes at his unconsciousness.
Hmm.
But as your main action to do so, there is still a final guard left, and you do have monkish movement to get up to him and use a bonus action if you would like.
Yes. I will go up to and flurry of blows him.
Go for it. Go ahead and just click your two attacks there. As you come in, a 25 definitely hits for 5 extra damage, and if you're doing your second attack, go ahead and let's see what that is.
Come on. 18.
As you hit, however, he is just barely standing. As I believe
In
that
that
is now your turn.
case,
Ooh,
Hands of Harm again.
yeah, you've not used it this turn, so go ahead and do so. What is it, +1? So there's still chance if you roll a 1, he doesn't go down, so let's see what you roll. Technically, no, if you roll 2, yeah, that'll still be a 3. With his 3 hit points left, you deal...
1d8 plus 1, yeah.
Yep, come on, don't roll a 1. I mean, technically, if you roll a 1, he gets like 1 hit point left. I'll do a shot.
2!
Exactly enough you need to bring his 3 hit points down. As the courtyard or the open expanse of just barren land around you in the cathedral quiets from the 6 unconscious dino guards, and the eerie feeling that you may have drawn attention to yourself by having this giant combat out in front of the tower, and you may want to grab a piece
Surely
of a
not.
puzzle and get into the shadows somewhere.
First, I want to carve a J on his forehead.
You're at a combat. What would the party like to do?
Robin's gonna step out and go, Jinxie, quick! Heal peace, and we should probably get out of here.
Yes, it seems like a good idea.
Quick, up through the church.
As you heal up piece of puzzle, you get kind of brought into, I imagine, while people are trying to like hurry you to your feet and like budge you along as you're still coming out of your poison condition.
Did we kill them? Was I magnificent?
Yes.
Yes,
Fantastic.
to all of them.
And you go down to like the second round.
Oh yeah, that doesn't
You
matter.
took those darts like a champ.
I keep thinking I'm wearing my armor still. This is annoying. I'm going to find that man, that Swobold, and make him eat my fist.
Swole Rapnoid. It's like a Swobold, but bigger. And the size of a Goliath. But the party bursts through the doors, hoping that there's actually. Do you burst through the doors? How would you like to enter the cathedral church?
Yeah,
I'd say
running...
cautiously.
Robin would have just ran into them.
Okay, it
Okay.
seems though Robin would have darted the heads of the rest of us
Okay, luckily there is no like
as
ceremonial
I'm
mass going in there right now.
picking piece off of the ground.
As Robin opens up the doors, you do get see into this what can only be described as a tropical cathedral church room. There appears to be large vines or ceremonial vines. They don't look to be actual plant, but they look to be carved out of various material. You can see them made out of wood and metals, coiling up banisters and pillars all throughout the room. And you can see massive statues of what look to be differing dinosaurs lining the left and right wall. And standing in the center of the room before the room branches off into like a little section of pews. In the center on the main shrine is what appears to be a large beastnoid-like individual with all kinds like the mane of a lion, the claws of some vicious creature, eyes that seem to burrow with a predatory stare into your very soul. Are any of you proficient in religion?
Would-
No.
Don't think so, but
Nope.
did I fast. Yes, I am.
Oh, you are. Go ahead and give
Yeah.
me a religion check.
19.
19. Do any of you know the X-Men character Sabretooth?
Yes.
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 Well, imagine Sabretooth, but with a raptor's face.
Okay.
As you look upon the image of Baatar, the god of beasts, one of the 7 nature divinities. He's also considered to be the creator of the Beastnoid races, including Loxodon, lizard folk, tritons, anything that is a semi-animal hybrid, effectively, anything that is a beastnoid, is believed to have been created with a combination of Baatar and Previs, the gods of beasts and prey. He's also considered like the god of hunting, the god of stalking and stealth, and the god of predatory ways.
I explain all this to Robin and Peace.
Just like the Blurs of Party being like, yeah, we don't need the religious ceremony right now.
Very
as
interesting.
you-
But why are you telling us this?
In
Uh,
Is he the
case
one
we
your
come
cult
across
followed?
them.
As you make your way through, those with the high passive perception, I believe, is a piece of puzzle. You do hear the sounds of what sounds like footsteps in kind of echoing through wood and stone further into the cathedral. It does sound like there are people walking about in various rooms here and there, but the party with not only their innate stealth and perception are able to kind of steer away from those areas if you would like. You kind of can peek out and notice that there appears to be regular, almost clerical staff inside the cathedral. There seems to be priests and administration staff or people praying. This appears to be a well-used cathedral, and eventually you find what looks to be a set of large spiraling staircase at the back of the large chambers that leads up into the cathedral proper. Go ahead and I guess give me stealth checks as you make your way through the building.
Sneaky, sneaky.
29.
34.
I was gonna say 34, but
Damn.
27.
All right, you guys are phantoms in this cathedral. As you make it up to the higher floors, you peek in through a massive archway into the large room that would have been directly above the Baatar statue underneath. And in it appears to be almost some sort of large, almost baptism chamber. You can see there is a massive pool of water, and Baatar is another statue of Baatar. This one kind of gilded in jewels and gems and kind of bestowed with treasures in a shrine around the base of him on a platform, is watching over this large bathing pool. There with kind of trays and pillars and podiums of various anointments, and there also seems to be a larger spiritual presence in this room. As well as what looks to be some sort of large opening for a slight outcropping in the building that seems to be an opening down into the lower levels. But without any need to go in there, unless you would like to, you're able to find the exit out of the cathedral onto the higher levels if you'd like. So what would you like to do? Would you like to leave the cathedral or go explore the main baptism chamber?
I'll leave. Like, the player in me wants to do the cathedral, but no, let's leave.
Yeah.
Is able to easily leave the cathedral, and you make it out onto the upper layer. And as you come out onto this upper plateau, you can already hear the sounds of a bustling city or a bustling town before you. It's not quite as big, as obviously the like planar hub of copper for those who went there. And it might not be as big as some of the more metropolitan or cosmopolitan cities that one or two of you have probably been to or derived from. But it was larger than a town, and it is quite reasonably sized, as you can hear the wash of noise and movement and large animals kind of making whatever noises large animals make when going about their business.
Mm-hmm.
But as well as that, there is also just seems to be canals and waterways and lakes. So it's almost like this place was built on top of a underground swamp of some kind, or underground like waterway. Kind of gives you reminiscence of like Louisiana, or God, what's the main city of Louisiana?
New
New
Orleans.
New
Orleans.
Orleans,
New
yeah.
Orleans. You know, reminiscent of New Orleans. But yes, you can see over the distance, you can see kind of outlines and shadows of various, what look to not only be rapnoids, but also various other dinosaur humanoid hybrids walking about. What would the party like to do?
Do we have like a second or two so I can pop out an eldritch cannon?
You currently appear to be unobserved, having just like kind of stepped out and peeking out of the cathedral doors. There appears to be like a slight opening and expanse over toward the bridge that leads further into town. But so
Okay.
far, there doesn't appear to be anyone out here.
Just gonna pop a little cannon out and then start healing us up in sequence.
Mm-hmm.
A little cannon. Apart from that, can we see like our aim is still to go to Dildo Tower.
I believe so,
Do you
yeah.
think is it better to go along the edges, or I mean, what time of day is it?
You would have no idea. It's currently underground, and the entire cavern is lit by fluorescent light.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You're not entirely sure what the day-night cycle is for an underground city.
I would say potentially going via the rooftops.
Okay, the rooftops it is. I am
Now,
going to
obviously,
follow you because I've been making bad choices, it seems, for
uh,
quite a while.
I see no problem with the party being able to easily stealth over the rooftop and alleyways. For the larger expansive areas, particularly the bridges and the open areas here, how would the party like to traverse those, particularly those that might be populated with passerbys?
Um, well, depending on how long it's been, I still look like a rapnoid because that's only lasts for an hour.
Probably only took you like 10, 20 minutes to travel through the building. It's a decent sized cathedral, and you are going up like a large number of steps to get up there, but nothing the party can do in like 20 minutes. And as we all know, combat's never lasts more than a couple minutes.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you you've got your cloak of displacement, yeah.
Yep.
So you can just like pull the hood up and just make yourself blurry.
Maybe just like run super fast in between the open areas, just hoping they'll
Yeah.
just think it's a shadow.
What
Okay.
about you, Jinxie? Do you have any like hoods or anything?
Oh,
And I mean, I have a cloak of protection.
You could.
I do have something, but it will have to be in case of emergency, and I show you a little bag of dust of disappearance.
Definitely a
I mean, the
case of
cloak of
emergency.
protection's got a hood on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So
And fair, the Rapnoid individuals are medium sized, so you could perceivably like hunch your shoulders a little bit and come and try to like mimic their posture.
Mm-hmm.
It might obviously you just needs to be enough that people don't immediately start screaming and pointing at you.
Yeah. Like just completely cover your heads and thinking.
The weird non-reptilian forms that you are.
Yeah.
Never seen a mammal before. What is this mammal creatures doing here? Okay then. So as the party with their either their half an hour left of like disguises or their cloaks kind of just following behind the figure, you guys are kind of obviously you're a little bit more practiced in the way of stealth to not draw attention to yourself, so you know to like walk hurriedly in open spaces and save the running for when you're out of line of sight, are able to make your way through the area.
Mhm.
As you do so, particularly on this bridge as you're heading south, this will be where the searchman area comes up. So as you kind of make your way over the bridge, and you can see the bustling area of or dinosaur-noid races walking around, making their life here. You do see large groupings of Rapnoids in what is very clearly the same guard outfit, kind of stopping and questioning people. They have seemed to have set up almost search barriers
Mhm.
as they are kind of checking people coming and going for anything. Now, you could obviously attempt to either walk through the barrier, but you'll most likely be stopped and searched and asked and like checked, or you can try and make your way to one of the like nearby alleyways or something. But that is going to be a little bit more acrobatically to like kind of get over the bridge support and actually like get over to an area that you could slip through. So for the latter, I will need acrobatics check. For the first one, you'll need to encounter some guards. What would you like to do?
I
I
feel we should try and circumventilate.
Yeah, definitely the navigate or the acrobatic route.
Go ahead and give
Yeah.
me some acrobatics check as the party attempts to take a more adventurous route to bypass the blockade.
Or we can just turn invisible and walk through.
Yes, do that.
Robin's already on the roof.
It's like jumped up onto like the bridge and is like jumped across to like a building balcony is up on the roof, and Jinxie has just fallen off the bridge into the water below.
And I'm just stuck in the middle, like, good choices. Good choices were made by us on this trip. I'm glad I came
I
here
can
with you lot.
essentially walk on water. I won't go through the water.
You're a monk,
try and-
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's monk shit.
Oh, I will climb up as well.
Monks are meant to be dexy.
No, I like to
Yeah,
imagine that what happens
yeah,
is a
it's
piece of
plus
puzzle
9.
accidentally like steps on Jinxie's cloak. Just as Jinxie's about to jump, and they get like uh choker hold into the water beneath as piece of puzzle leaps above them.
Why do you do this, Jinxie? Come.
Jinxie shaking yourself off the water and like getting yourself up and running across it and up the building. You're not quite sure how that went wrong, but you suspect a piece of the puzzle might have been involved.
Definitely
All right.
involved.
The party is able to make their way bypassing the blockade and heading south. As you get into this, appears to be a large residential area. As you make your most direct way towards there, there seems to be a almost like as you're just actually everyone give me an insight check to see if you'd even notice any of this, especially for this party. It's possible you just don't notice any of the cultural like facets of this community.
Nope.
Progressively getting
Shit, I got
worse.
23.
Jinxie is just shaking off the water, just too focused on themselves. Piece of puzzle as you're making your way through, and a little bit from Robin, but specifically piece of a puzzle as you're making your way through, and kind of just noting the city, the layout, the way people are going about their business. There seems to be a mix of obviously the dinonoid individuals. There's kind of various sizes. You can see some with these long necks that are kind of reminiscent of almost we'd imagine like, oh my god, do giraffe-noids exist? Is there such a thing as like a giraffe beastoid?
God, I hope so.
I mean,
What? Giraffe beastoid.
possibly.
They now exist somewhere. Look, we have elephants, so we're doing
Yeah.
giraffe now too.
I mean, we've got
Uh,
elephants and we've got hippo people,
Hippos.
and we've got rabbit people, cat people,
Why
bull
giraffe
people. Yeah, why not giraffe people?
So reminiscent of giraffe people, there's these long dinosaur-necked individuals kind of walking about, and similarly, you can see these larger, bulkier, almost like loxodon individuals kind of thinking about, but with large, kind of triangular crest heads and horns, almost like a rhinoceros gif. As you're making your way about, and as you're kind of you are going about, you notice that the only like more kind of predatory shaped individuals, so the more rapnoids, you only see them in the guards. It looks like the shopkeepers and the average kind of citizen appears to be the more herbivore styled denizens,
All
Is
the
this
vegans.
Utopia?
Yeah.
but with dinosaurs.
Oh, for God's sake.
Zootopia. Dinotopia. It's Dinotopia.
Yeah, that's it.
Dinotopia.
No, that was a program. It was
Yeah.
on Sky One.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I've not seen that.
It's
I
bad.
was quite old.
Yeah. It's like
So
early
you guys
2000s.
gave me the premise of dinosaurs in the Underdark. So of course, if dinosaurs were to become noids and make a civilization, of course there'd be a hierarchy of like the predatory carnivores and the more docile herbivores. That's just how that would
It's
form.
hilarious
Surely
that you.
Dinotopia is fine.
Yeah. Dinotopia was kind of underground as well. If I remember right.
Dinotopia.
I feel like it was late 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s, yeah.
It's Dinotopia, but they're humanoids.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they.
thought it was, like,
No,
people in
they.
it.
Some of them were, I think, humanoid-y.
Oh my god, this dinosaur has disposable thumbs.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs disposable thumbs. Wild. So yes, you make your way through the Dinotopia. And eventually make your way into what is very clearly a almost bustling marketplace centered around an oasis.
Mhm.
And here you can actually see for the large tower that seems to stem out of this small sand dome palace that seems to be a contrast to all the other buildings around. This is also the only building that seems to have two guards out front, only they are two muscly triceratops noids.
Have we seen many babies?
No, they'd be eggs.
Like adolescent dinonoids? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
mean
those
like
are good.
kids?
Just wondering if that was a particular fear of the dinosaurs, like that we're going to steal their babies because they're quite rare.
That's fair.
Well, Robin
Some-
keeps eating them.
Yeah, definitely going to steal a baby to eat.
No, you've seen the occasional dinonoid adolescent.
It's the only fast food Robin likes.
But yes,
He
you find
gets it
yourself
into himself.
up on these larger towers, kind of overlooking the marketplace, and it seems to be a bustling, kind of almost community hub. You can see that there are dinonoid adolescents kind of splashing around in the oasis pools, people kind of chatting and talking with each other, and throughout the marketplace, you can see one or two more of these triceratopnoid bodyguards, just kind of keeping a watch. Not the same rapnoids as you previously saw, with two of them kind of guarding the main entrance to this small palace here. What would you like to do? The tower itself rises up into like an opening with like open windows at the top, maybe about like 120 foot tall.
I don't think we should try and talk to them because that has gone bad every time.
Yes.
So, shall we just avoid them or just straight up kill them?
I mean, we're in the middle of a city. I believe we should probably avoid them.
Yes, it sounds like the better option. Less
Okay.
conspicuous.
All right, so what would you like to do? Would you like to make your way towards the building? Would you like to do any like scouting or watching for anything in particular, or what is your approach? What would you like to do?
Take a scout around to see if there's like a back entrance or something.
Yeah.
There's also probably one or two windows kind of like dotting the main tower up. All right, go ahead and give me, I guess, perception checks as you kind of look for vantage points and like kind of scout around the back of the buildings
Mm-hmm.
from like a slight distance.
31.
31 for me as well.
All right. Okay then.
23.
Hey!
And we're good at the looking at things and sneaking. The actual like talking to people,
The
we're not
rest of
good
it.
at. Yeah. We usually have people for that kind of thing.
That's why we're in the big
As a
parties
cutlass,
usually.
Jinxie didn't have to do a lot of talking.
Mm.
Chanting, yes, but you know that was a group thing.
Okay then.
But conversing, very little of that.
So as you find kind of scout around the back, you can see that there are several kind of walled off or gated off alleyways between the main palace here and the kind of buildings at the back that form the rest of the residential area that seems to kind of stretch around this whole city. And while you can see one or two additional guards on the kind of on the outer street, kind of keeping an eye on the various entranceways, kind of just keeping an eye on anything unusual or suspicious around the building. With your superior stealth and dexterity, you're able to kind of go over the buildings into the back alleyways, which they were not expecting. And are able to find your way into what looks to be very clearly some sort of like a back alley, trash alley where they put bins and stuff out. And go ahead and who haven't I got a roll for a while? TR, roll me a d20 fate check to see if there's anyone out there. See if there's any like kitchen staff taking a smoke break.
Oh,
There appears to not only be people out there as you get a vantage point directly over one of the alleyways. There appears to be two Triceratop guards beating up a scrawny herbivore. I actually don't know enough herbivore dinosaurs. What's a good herbivore dinosaur? Oh, you know what? No, I want a pterodactyl. I want a young pterodactyl barman being beat up by two
Brontosaurus.
guards.
Brontosaurus is
There,
big.
there is one pteronoid being just like beaten up by one of the tri guards. As they seem to be shouting at him in something in uncommon that Jinxie, if you are what was your perception? 23? That's high enough to kind of
Yeah.
understand. You can just about hear like clips of the conversation of oh, I need to go grab his name now. We warn we
Terry.
warned you not to mess with Kozak. Nobody takes money from the boss, you understand. We catch ya skimming off the top again. There's gonna be punishment, and we both know what Kozak does to traitors to the cause. As he just punches into his stomach again. What would the party like to do as this scene unfolds?
How many other?
There is two Triceratop guards and one Terrell teenager being beaten up.
Um,
I would say this to
Ca-
the other two, that the guards are beating up one of the staff because skimming from the till.
okay.
And I would mention they named some possible big boss,
Kozak.
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 Shall we not intervene, but, you know, take advantage of it?
Is Robin still looking like a guard at this point, or is that worn off now?
No, I would have worn off. It would have taken you at least an hour to get down here.
Okay. How big are the Triceratops noids?
They're quite bulky, so maybe not as tall as a Goliath, but they're a little bit wider than a Goliath. Probably like dragonborn sized.
Right. So they're still medium creatures, yeah.
Yes, they're still medium creatures.
Okay. I'm gonna make myself look like one.
Okay, interesting. Okay. All right, you go for it. Are you mimicking one exactly, or are you just mimicking like a general appearance?
General appearance, he's gonna have like one of his horns broken, and he's
Just because he's just got his ass kicked by the party.
yeah. He's gonna walk up to them, put his hands on each of their shoulders, turn them towards him, and just be like, just shake his head at them.
Are you gonna, because obviously you guys are up on the kind of roofways looking down at this, are you gonna like kind of go a little bit to the left, like drop down into the alleyway,
Yeah,
like Batman, and just
Bat-
walk up to them?
yeah. Batman drop into their disguised self, and then walk up to them.
All right, you do so. You kind of tap them on their shoulder. They kind of glance back at you with a quizzical look, trying to like very clearly try to see if they know who you are. Would you like to do or say anything?
Well,
No, you could say anything. but-
knowing that it's in Undercommon, he's gonna like point at like a scar across his neck, and then point to
Okay.
Can't talk.
yeah, point to the Terranoid, point back to himself, saying to like try to say he's mine.
Give me, I guess, an intimidation check.
Intimidation. Okay.
Because this is kind of like you taking on like a buff guy kind of appearance.
Nah.
In one of them kind of like straightens up and kind of like stares down at you. The other one keeping a firm grip on the Terranoid. And in Undercommon says something to you you are unable to understand. What would you like to do? He seems quite aggressive towards you.
He's gonna shake his
Could
head.
Jinxie have heard that?
Yeah, Jinxie would have, but there's no unless you've got a message. There's no way of telling Robin.
Yeah, but to get a feeling of what's happening.
I do have
like
message.
if they were.
If Jinxie can mumble it to
So,
me, I can
yeah,
send it down.
Yeah.
Interesting. There will be a delay, so obviously, anything that comes up where it's relevant for delay, or you like delay in answering, I'll play into that later. But for now, this is a starting scenario, so yeah, you guys have time to do this weird fucking like message magic. You would hear him with your perception, since you got pretty good ears. Him say, "Who the fuck are you? Do I know you? Are you one of the Dons, man? Why don't I know you?"
I would say peace. He's asking who he is, and why doesn't he recognize him?
Is he one
Is
of the
he
Dons?
one of the Don's men? Whoever that is. So tell him that, and obviously we've established that Robin can't
So-
speak.
Yeah. I'm relaying it, but I'm currently eating strawberries as well, so apologies.
Fair enough.
We're getting mixed messages now.
So, Rawson's gonna not Rawson, Robin. Sorry, Rawson's a different character. Robin's gonna like hold up two fingers to like break down the question. To say like first
sure
point, yeah,
it's-
first point, shake his head. Be like, no, he doesn't know me. Second point, I am one of the Don's men.
Go ahead and give me, I guess, a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Now it's going to get interesting.
Or would that not be a deception? Because
Persuasion or deception, your choice.
deception. 28.
Oh,
Yes, okay. The big brute of a guy is just staring at you. It's no reason to hilariously this plays into your favor because of the racial nature of the settlement. Most triceranoids work for this guy. So by the sheer fact that you look like one of them, he's just gonna be like, yeah, must be one of us. I have no reason to doubt this.
I mean,
Why would he
if
lie?
they're wearing any like uniform, Robin would also be wearing it.
He's not wearing like a uniform per se. For all intents and purposes, he appears to like be wearing the dinosaur equivalent of like a white vest top.
Oh yeah, a nice muscle top.
Yeah, in case anyone hasn't figured it out, I've made the Triceratops the mafia in this world, or in this settlement. Um. So yeah, he's just gonna like shrug. I guess the Don wants something else with little Terry here. His name's Terry. That's yes. We're gonna go with Terry the Pterodon. Shut up.
It's fine.
It's your lucky day, Terry. We catch you skimming from the till again. And we'll find out what if Pteranoids can fly without their wings. Kind of just like shoves them between the two of them once more, and then like kind of just like throws him towards you as the two laugh and start walking back inside. You're left with a quivering teenage pterodon.
Robin's gonna just stare at this pterodon because it's the first time he's ever seen one of these things. And
Is a humanoid pterodactyl, as you can all imagine.
and he's just gonna like just stare at him for like a minute or two, and then like point his thumb over his shoulder to like kind of say, "Get out of here."
Harry kind of like looks up at you a little bit confused. Go ahead and give me a flat charisma check.
Black charisma check.
Yeah.
9.
He seems too scared to like move. Like he seems to not quite understand what it is you want him to do. He kind of just like doesn't look up at you and is constantly like looking at the ground. You can still see him quivering.
Robin's gonna like bend down, like lift his chin up, poke his chest, and
See
then
him like shiver.
poke his chest, look at the end of the alleyway, and point.
It takes like a little like pointing once or twice, but he eventually like catches on and like comes out of his. He was clearly in shock from the beating, but he eventually comes to and is like kind of just nods at you rapidly and then begins scurrying towards the end of the alleyway. Eventually, he has to like try and scramble over the gates, but he gets out into the street and he runs for it.
But
All right, that leaves you in the alleyway alone.
yeah, and Robin's just gonna go back to the other and go, "Well, that worked."
Oh, that's good.
At least, like,
I mean,
I couldn't really question him, could I?
no, I thought we
Oh,
could
no.
use him as a distraction and kill the guards.
To be honest, we don't want to like make ourselves known in this place. We want to get around sneakily.
It's not good to make a scene at the moment.
Exactly.
Okay, well, while you were down there, did you see any other way to get in?
I mean, I saw these big dino men go into the bar through this door.
Yeah, there's
Do
a
you
back
think
door.
it's safe?
It's currently still just open.
Into the back door we go, I suppose.
Yes.
All right,
Not a
as you
bad
guys
decision by the group.
as you
Yes,
enter
this is a
into
group bad decision.
the building, specifically Robin taking point on it. Given that they are still in disguise and kind of are more easy to kind of look around a corner without being immediately like suspected for aliens. As you guys make your way through what is very clearly like this back kitchen area of various kind of like stone stoves with what appears to be fire spirits kind of lighting things up, kind of dancing around. Similarly, particularly for Piece of a Puzzle, as you make your way through here, the fire spirits appear to be gathering around what appears to be quite a hand-sized chunk of red arcanite that is just kind of hovering in mid-air on this, or just kind of above this stone hotbed, as fire spirits are kind of like dancing up and like praising the fire crystal, or what presumably is now a fire crystal. And you see similar things here or there as you work through the kitchen. They appear to, it's very similar to the way, obviously, Copper or like Akaba or any of the other high artificery civilizations incorporate Arcanite into effectively magical technology. But they seem to be doing it without the same technical casing as an artificer might. Whereas an artificer is using more channeling the energy into effects, they appear to be somehow like channeling the raw energy of the crystals themselves through this spirit magic to conjure similar effects. It's a very strange, almost alternative technical style to artificery.
I will have to look into this later when I'm not going to die.
As you make your way through the building, you eventually come out into some corridors that lead into a larger opening, like chambers into the actual building itself. And here you can see there appears to be a mass of people. There are white arcanite crystals with black arcanite crystals kind of floating around it, projecting a disco ball-like effect onto the room. And you can see various dino-noids dancing, enjoying their time. There appears to be a bar with flowing liquid from blue arcanite that seems to be gushing through, or kind of gushing water out of it, with water spirits dancing around it, as the entire base of this building appears to be one massive complex of bars and clubs.
Hence the shape of it.
This is a very odd wizard tower. Usually not so much dancing.
Yeah, but I'm sure there'd be a lot of magic happening.
More than likely.
What would the party like to seek out and look for? Obviously, there's a large number of open chambers, of bars, kitchen backgrounds, corridors, and like private rooms. And seemingly, you walk into, like, sneak a peek into one room where there's just a group of people singing with a bunch of dancing spirits. This is very high pitched, and even without understanding the words, you can tell they are singing terribly.
So it's not the noise we heard earlier.
No, as you're going through the city, you notice that while there are dinonoids here, they also have a native population of actual dinosaurs doing some of the animalistic work of like brunt labor that you would expect in other places. So like pulling carts or like carrying things, etc.
So would that be like the Brontosaurus kind of dinosaurs, the sauropods?
Yes, for those who are aware of Port near Zaru in, I'm butchering the pronunciation, in Tomb of Annihilation from
Chult,
D&D.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, from the main city of Chult. Similar to how they use dinosaurs for their industrial purpose, so does Terror Falls.
Okay.
It's just that they are also dinonoids as well.
Mhm.
Because, hey, you can have mammals and humans in the same settlement. Why not dinosaurs and dinonoids?
Yeah.
No reason at all.
But yes, you're able to find some stairs upwards into the tower itself that seems to have one or two guards in front of it as you're making your way through the building. But other than that, you do not find any rooms holding any hostages or anything, or any of your missing items. Is there anything in particular you are looking for, or would you like to try and get past the guards into the upper layer where presumably some sort of boss figure might be?
Probably like
First, you think to the top.
yeah.
Yeah.
While there are strangeties and a foreignness to the settlement, there also seems to be a large number of common similarities between this settlement and every other settlement you've been to. It seems that no matter where civilization spawns, there are some things just fundamental to civilization, such as the
And
need to party.
karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke. And also the fact that the boss is
No,
always in the highest
bad
tower.
karaoke.
Uh, But unfortunately, with the two guards blocking the entrance to what you believe to be the stairs up the main tower, just given the position of it and the size of the doorway, you are unable to bypass them without either distracting them and pulling away from the door, talking your way through them, or just killing them outright. There is no way to stealth past them while they are like on either side of the actual door.
Mm-hmm.
What would the party like to do?
Are they the Triceratops guards again?
Yes, they are. These ones seeming even a little bit like beefier and muscular than even the two you previously spotted, or the ones out in the plaza. These appear to be the strongest of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Gonna have the beefiest on the boss of the door.
Yeah. Just thinking that there's no way that Robin's going to be able to talk his way through this. Unless you try to deploy the same kind of thing that we did earlier, try to talk our way through.
You guys do seem to be really bad at diplomacy or any form of talking.
We are just not charismatic people.
Just
I've explained my
question.
reasoning. I don't know about the other two.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think we probably would have used all of the cannon's health things. So can I
Probably.
just roll however many it is plus 15 and then spread them out between us?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
God, what is it? It's a D8, I think. 15 D8. Okay, so everyone takes what? Terrible at maths.
So it's 65 divided by the three of us.
So,
Everyone takes 26 because there's an extra 15 on there. So everyone takes 26 hit points.
26.
Cheers.
Nice.
So at least it's, it's something. It's not going to get me to full, but it'll help a lot.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's
Yep.
a terrible idea. Why don't we make one of them invisible? And hopefully they freak out enough that they're distracted and we can sneak through.
No, a distraction would require them to be taken away from the door, not freaking out in front of the door.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but if they've
yeah,
been
but
made invisible,
Yeah, if one of
it
them suddenly
looks
turns
like they've just
invisible,
disappeared. It's like, what the fuck? He was just here a second ago.
You know the first thing, Neil, what's the first thing you do if suddenly somebody next to you goes invisible? Or seems to disappear?
you freak out, you run away.
Yeah.
Do you though? Do you disappear? Do you run away?
Yes,
Or do you
somebody's just
wave your
disappeared.
hand in their space?
No,
I
because
would
I'm not a
be
Scooby-Doo villain.
aghast. It's like, I would be perplexed. It's like,
It'd be
Alright, well,
perplexing, yeah, but
I'll make them do like a wisdom check to see if they run away straight away or wave their hand through, since I can imagine both. I'll leave it to the dice. I'm just saying there's a possibility they don't do that.
Well, then we're going to need a plan B.
I was just thinking that there is a thing that makes them like attack their allies, but I don't think I have that. Just looking through my spells. No. The only other thing I can think of is if Jinxie writes a message in Undercommon that Robin's Trinoids can go give the guards to like make them go outside or something. Oh. We have Jinxie write in Undercommon. Terry has been skimming from the books.
go burn his house down.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the poor bastard.
You should
Why
have
do you
skimmed from the books,
carry
man.
the Pterodontoid? Ooh, a Hadronoid. There we go. Those are my those are the other guys I got to pick on.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jinxie would do that.
Oh god, you guys are the worst party in history. Okay, so you're writing out a message to tell them to how are you delivering this message, by the way?
Oh, Robin's just gonna go up and give it to them.
Okay,
Like
Robin, give
the
me one hell of a
dutiful.
perception check, and Jinxie, give me a persuasion or deception check. Your choice for your handwriting. I don't know.
Or do
See
you
how
have
well you can write
proficiency in
things.
forge tools or anything like that?
No.
You'd also need to see a document to forge.
Yeah. There's a
I'm just
23
going to prepare a
deception.
shot.
I mean, I could use some of my alchemist supplies and put in it then, because knockout gas.
No, we don't want to knock out. We just want them to leave.
Right. Come on. Ooh.
Okay. This is a high DC check, given that they are two bodyguards. It is a partial success. As you hand over the note, just Robin's disguise, such a mystery and of confusion and complexity, and they're looking at you, and you definitely seem to be on the up and up. She handed him the note, and just the two guards kind of turn to glance at each other, really confused, their eyes furrowed, kind of looking down at the note. Oh. Oh. Hey, can you... What's this word say? I can't... There's a couple words here I can't actually make out. As they seem to be passing the note back and forth, you can hear them mumbling to each other. Oh. I think they're all
It's
very
cursive,
hungry.
man. Yeah.
Kind of look at you, look back down at the note. Alright. Did you sign it or anything? Who does the note say it's from? Is it just like a blank note or like a message note? Is there a signature? Or like from someone?
Unless Jinxie's written like love from like the Don or something on it.
Question, Jinxie. What did you like? How did you end the letter?
See to ASAP.
Yeah, they don't know what ASAP
The
means.
dawn.
You guys have got to stop using
as soon as
colloquialism in a
possible.
foreign land.
As soon as
No, it doesn't
possible.
translate well. Okay, so it's literally just a note that doesn't say
ASAP?
who the note is from.
Pronto?
From the dawn.
Is it Cossack? Cossack? Isn't Cossack the Don?
Yeah, you would have signed it Cossack because you would have heard that.
It's a question of, do you know how to spell Cossack from hearing it? The players do, because I put it in the chat. That's the character.
Yeah,
So,
because the thing is, I wrote it down before you put it up and I spelled it wrong.
yeah, you did. Go ahead, Jinxie, give me an insight check to see if you know how to translate a spoken word into the language. Actually, would it even be insight? No, this would be like a language check. Give me an intelligence check with proficiency in the language. We're about to really test Jinxie's like how fluent Jinxie is in this language. So an intelligence check with proficiency because you are proficient in the language.
Saving throw. Intelligence.
Yep. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, and we'll add 4 to it.
There's a chance. No.
I'm going to give
They-
you my inspiration, Jinxie.
Just imagine them looking down and just their boss's name is spelt wrong, and like there's a couple grammatical errors.
I'm dyslexic, so fuck you.
Well, unfortunately, so is your character in this foreign language.
I'm not a character.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
see.
without the
17.
proficiency. So plus 4, 17. Okay, 17 is enough to like spell the boss's name right. Uh,
As the sweat starting to drip down Robin's head.
and does the note say for them to both do it or just to like go do it?
Oh yeah, both of them, because make sure the job's done properly.
They kind of like glance back up, stare into like Robin's 23 deception, look back down. You know what? I feel like this deserves a contest. We're gonna give them an insight check here. Okay, they failed the insight check, so they're gonna believe this for some goddamn reason. We're unfortunately playing
They're
into
all
the stereo.
brawn, no brains.
Yeah, we're unfortunately playing into the stereotype that these brutes are brutes in muscle alone,
They're bebop and rocksteady.
as the dice have decided that they are going to believe this and are not going to ask questions. Apparently, this is not an uncommon thing. As they both like kind of just, okay, and like position you next to the door, Robin, as if to take their place.
Yep.
As they both wander off down the corridor, towards the kitchen, probably to get supplies, leaving just Robin as the sole guard of this door now.
Robin's just gonna stand there for a minute and sit there thinking, "Oh, this worked better than I could have
Really did.
hoped." And then, like after a minute or two, like wave the other two over.
Coast clear, guys.
I mean, I honestly cannot believe that worked. I felt for sure I was going to have to shoot him in the back of the head or something.
Just be grateful it did work.
I mean, honestly, yes.
Don't question the wise. Just be glad.
Feel so tense. Let us go upstairs.
Okay, let's see here. But anyway, you open the door, and there's just a large spiraling staircase all the way up this tower. You can see one or two windows kind of outstretching, and again, you can kind of get this beautiful view of Terrell Falls as you kind of glance through the windows out into the nice vantage point of the rest of the settlement. This almost Louisiana, New Orleans-styled dinosaur forested swamp water city. As you make your way finally to the top, and the door opens out into this lavish, what appears to be a large mix of this open planned studio bedroom mixed with like office space that you'd expect for the dawn of a mafia to own. You can see that it is decorated with fine quilts and like beautiful statues of various beasts, and there's hides of exotic dinosaurs lining here and there. You can see a few mounted heads of some strange underdark creatures that you previously met that aren't present in the city, but you encountered on like the outskirts of the city itself. And sitting at his desk, seemingly just, you know what? Let's see what he's doing. Actually, let's.
Huh? All right. Is it gonna be like Blofeld? He's got his back to us.
What is he currently doing? There's news in the city. He's gonna be like standing out the open balcony, because the room gives out into a balcony that kind of surrounds the entire tower. There's a little balcony around the walls of the actual room at the top of the tower. You can as you enter into the room, you can catch sight of his back of this large, broad Triceratops figure standing outside just through the open door, staring over the city, looking directly north, it looks like, towards the palace at the top. He has not noticed you with your innate stealth. Nah, you know, that's not fun. Do a stealth check. I want to see if you fail.
Who's doing the self?
All three of you do a stealth check as you are effectively entering the room.
Oh, I rolled the worst I can and still got a 20.
Hot damn.
Yeah, that was bad for me. That was with advantage.
Alrighty. Doo-doo-doo. They just double check what his passive is. What is he putting into? Oh, you know what? That's so good. Look at that. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like. I only just noticed that we have some
Yeah, I
people
just
in the
seen
chat from
from
Greg.
your boss.
Ah.
Greg from accounting.
Greg from accounting.
Yes, Cossack spelled wrong. Stupidity once again.
Yeah, I've just noticed Wolfie in the chat as well. Yeah. Sorry, sorry, Wolfie.
Yes. We're trying to strategize here,
Yeah.
okay?
We're playing D&D. We're not looking at chat.
Maybe this
We're
one.
not so much with the talkie.
So I mean, I'm just double checking a good stat block to actually see what his passive is. This one will do. What is their passive perception? It is unless that is nope, it is 12. Okay. Unfortunately, this guy is not the passive perceptionist. So since you were previously stealthed, the status quo remains, and Jinxie does not give you away.
Okay, I pull out my gun, I aim it at the back of him. I look to Bobbin and shrug.
You about to assassinate the mob boss of the Triceratops?
I mean, honestly, like, I've been making bad choices, so I'm looking to Bobbin to help.
Right, Robin could ready his nice bow and arrow.
No, Robin's gonna pull out his short swords because he can't attack at short range with his bow.
I mean, is
That's-
that short range?
I
You
mean,
know,
we're
what
across the
distance
room,
are
Iso.
we? What
We're across the
distance are
room,
we?
aren't we?
Yeah, he's across the room, out through the open doors on his balcony. You guys have just come into the room through the central staircase.
It's not like we're right
Oh,
behind them.
In that case, yeah.
Quite spacious room. I'd say you're at least like 15 to 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could Jinxie have like climbed up the wall and is like hanging onto the ceiling?
Yes, there are rafters in this the ceiling room.
I mean, you're the only one that's gonna be able to talk to him. So it'd be a disembodied voice coming from the ceiling.
For those tuning in just
Well,
now, the party have made their way south into the city, have discovered the Triceratopnoid Mafia, have infiltrated the Mafia's base, have now gotten into the room with the Mafia, and are now pointing a gun at the back of the Mafia boss. All while searching for their missing allies.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in that because I was thinking, like, this guy's gonna get his head blown off.
I mean,
Potentially.
we if we kill him, does that make us the Dons or?
You have
I mean,
no
if
idea
you
what
keep
the culture
casting
of
disguise
this mob is.
self, yeah. I look to Jinxie like, make contact, speak, find information. Oh, I'm making sure I'm not standing next to Robin as well, so we're not like right next to each other in case any shenanigans happen.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Get out of the cone range. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not grouped all together.
yeah.
So Jinxie, would you like to initiate contact as the only person who speaks the language?
Yes.
What would you? How would you like to initiate contact with this mob boss who hasn't realized that you're there yet?
From the rafters.
Okay. Is Robin still visible in the doorway, or is Robin also taken to like like a hidden position?
Oh no, Robin's just standing in the room with his bow out, like drawn up.
Okay, so
So you got like piece of the puzzle standing one side of the door, pointing his gun at the mob boss. Then you've got Robin the other side, with his bow drawn.
all right, all right. And Jinxie, are you attempting to project your voice in any way?
No.
So you just in the rafters whispering.
It's more like
Uh,
if you're attempting to make your voice sound like it's coming from the doorway between those two, or if it's coming from you as he kind of looks up towards you.
Are you trying to like throw your voice or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd try to throw my voice actually.
All right, give me a performance check as just I want to see if you succeed at just having this disembodied voice talking as he turns around, sees two people pointing like guns towards him.
Okay, 21.
21 seems like it's pretty successful to like throw your voice. What would you like to say as the disembodied voice of this new god?
We tried that earlier. Well, it didn't work.
Actually, it did.
It did technically work. You just didn't say enough to convince them, and we're suspicious as fuck.
Uh, say
Oh, what's your opening line?
Be not afraid.
be very afraid. Would tell him not to turn around.
Oh, the first thing he's going to do is turn around.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that-
and
are
then
you
he'll get
gonna-
shot with whatever pieces got. And
Are you gonna try and say that like intimidatedly or like
Yes.
like just very non-casually?
Just get very. Do not
Give me
turn
either
around.
give me either an intimidation or a persuasion check, depending on what vibe you're going for here.
I was born in the dark.
One time you roll high.
You mean it? I was born in it.
Oh my god. Okay, fair enough. Fine, we're going with this. Okay. As in your deep, intimidating voice, you tell the mob boss not to turn around, and to your surprise and amazement, he doesn't.
Look,
As
inside voice goes like, yes.
over the corner of his shoulder, in this similarly deep and husky voice, he calls back, "And who might you be?"
Nobody you need to know. Safe to say, possibly the last person you hear.
You're pretty confident about that, aren't you?
Fairly confident, yes.
So who sent you? The king? Those damn pesky scholars?
The king.
Or someone else? Maybe the marshals? Nah, the Rapnoids would never have the spine.
Why should it make any difference who sent me?
They'll make it easier to extract vengeance when I kill you.
You think you can kill me? That's cute.
Well, you obviously and evidently want something, otherwise you would have already attacked. So make your demands.
The savages that were brought into the city, where have they gone? Where have they been taken?
There was 3 savages captured very recently. Where have they been taken, and what is to be done with them?
3 savages. Your information is incomplete. Clearly not with the scholars, or the king, or even the marshals then at that point.
Technically, it would be 6 in total.
6, yeah.
So,
Okay, I would have said
say
6.
yeah, say six savages. 3 were taken to the
Or a
prison.
group.
Three were taken elsewhere. Where have they been taken?
Okay, so rewinding a little bit there, because that's fair, that was a player mistake. He would respond then. Interesting. So not with the marshals or the king. Every word you say betrays you. Well, if my informants are correct, then the 3 that weren't taken to the prison, one of which went to the scholars, 2 went to the palace. You would know this if you were part of the any 3 factions I just mentioned, which means you're not. You're not
Not
part of my own
necessarily.
faction. Who does that leave? What a mystery.
We are the rebels.
With no cause.
You need like Robin's trying to feed you lines, not knowing like really what's going on, but
I am one of the rebels.
What rebels?
Exactly.
You may call us Legion, for we are many.
How is Robin feeding the lines to Jinx here? Are you just speaking
he's
them
just speaking them
hush
in
voice
common.
or? Okay.
Not really. Well, kind of hushed, but
Hmm. You see the kind of the Kosik's posture kind of shift a little bit as he seems to be almost like tilting his ear closer towards you rather than wherever Jinxie is projecting their voice from.
mhm.
That's not a dialect I know.
I didn't say I was local.
Interesting.
Tell him he has nice boots. Where did he get them from?
I see you're wearing a nice pair of boots. It'd be a shame for anything to happen to them. Say, get some bloodstains on them.
You know, I heard a funny story a short while ago. Would you like to hear it?
I shoot him in the back of the head.
If you'd like to roll an attack.
I'm just saying this story will not end well. I am just going to.
If that's what peace would do in this situation.
It is.
Wolfie, we're just making this up
Sharpshooter.
as we go along. We have no plan.
What a bad
Oh
shot.
no.
Alrighty then. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, look, another Jinxie.
Woohoo. Mirror image.
How does one? That does one spell. Cool. Again. God, I forgot how I spelled my own name. Everyone roll for initiative. No, that's correct.
Hmm.
Okay. There you go.
What's it with the sixes on initiative? Ooh, would I have got advantage on that, Chris?
For initiative, is there
Yeah,
anything?
because Wolfie's just put up, isn't it from hidden, so has advantage? Question mark.
Uh, oh, not for initiative. That would be for the weapon attack. Is what?
Oh, on the attack, he's just put up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I will roll that
Sorry.
again because that was shit. That's
Maybe.
better.
21.
No, I guess technically you haven't actually broken your stealth. But since he's got his back turned to you, also yes, yeah.
For
Would I
me,
also get my sneak attack?
No.
With advantage, yes,
Yes.
since you had advantage.
Okay. Good to know. There you are.
so do I have advantage on
57.
initiative?
No, this is just for the attack, Neil.
Oh, okay.
5. Okay, apparently we're gonna try and kill Kozek the mob boss.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just taken
Uh,
35 radiant damage as well.
Nice.
55 plus 57.
Is it plus 57, did you say?
Yes. That's my sneak.
That's your sneak?
That's my sneak.
Ooh, nice.
10d10. Why is your...
10d10.
How is...
Ow.
What? How? What? How?
Well, if you look over to me now, you notice that I don't have any eyes anymore. I just have two little burning sockets swirling.
Ow, you curse.
Jesus Christ, what the hell happened to you?
You did this to me!
Oh, damn it, if I remember that. You could have tried impregnating the mob boss.
Luckily, I think that curse was healed. Otherwise, that would have been, yeah, option 1. Enjoy! Pregnancy.
All right. What was the total damage from the first blood strike?
92.
92. Hot damn.
That's an ouchie.
Mm-hmm.
So amazingly, he's not dead. Oh, or unconscious.
I mean,
He
he
takes
might be in a
bloodied?
second.
He might be in a second, but he at least gets to turn around and say something before he gets obliterated. As just firing at his head, the shot, like he turns just in time that the shot like impacts glazes the side of his head, as a entire scorch mark and segment of his head is, what was this, radiant damage? Like
Yep.
burned and boiled away as you scorch the entire side, like one half of his face. As
You
he
never let
turns
them monologue. It's a mistake.
in a howl of pain, staring at the party dead on, one side burned badly from the radiant damage. I heard 3 of the prisoners escaped. And his eyes rest on peaceful puzzle in their tabaxi form. As Robin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I am going to.
You can see him kind of like begin kind of cracking all his muscles as he begins kind of like getting ready to charge towards the party.
Yeah. So I'm using my oath bow for this. I'm going to activate it, saying swift defeat to my enemies. So when I make range attack, and say swift death to you who have wronged me.
It's your favoured enemy, isn't
Yep.
it?
So using the oath bow, he is using the favoured enemy of it, so he gets advantage And I'm also going to sharpshooter this as well. So this is a
Jesus Christ, this man is already bloody. Have mercy on him. Mercy on his soul.
17 to hit.
17 does not hit.
Okay then. So second shot. Still going to sharpshooter this as well.
For note, the 21 just hit.
Ooh.
I was just checking pieces.
20 does not hit.
Okay then. And then this is my Gloom Stealth. What is it called? Dread Ambush shot. I'm not going to sharpshooter this one though.
I want you to know that for flavor, I'm having him just charge towards the party as he's like quickly boxer dodging these shots. As he continues to get very, very close to the
Oh, I really
to you,
wish
and
that I did. 'Cause that's a crit.
Oh.
as he's just like 10, 15, or like he crosses like the 20-foot distance, and he's like just coming up 5 feet towards Robin and Piece of a Puzzle, as you finally get that third shot in, and I'm gonna let you calculate all that damage there because that was a bunch of numbers I don't want to fucking deal with.
79.
With his 27 health left, how would you like to fucking or two-shot Kozik the mob boss?
So you shot
I
him.
want you guys all to know he is CR 12.
Yeah. So you shot him in the back of the head. I shoot him in the front of the head.
Oh,
What was it?
and then
79 or something?
do the classic. Hey, as a reaction, I'm going to steal his soul.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Phantom as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So I've
So do you want to do a dex off to see if we can grab it?
I'd already got a couple of tokens, so you're more than welcome to take it if you want it.
I've got two already, so the question is, I say just dex off.
Fair enough. Dex check.
Dex off, dex off, dex off. As
Well,
you...
shit me.
Oh.
Like, as you grab it, you son of a bitch, I did most of the work. What?
Hey, I got the killing shot.
This is why you don't have any friends.
Well, that and the xenophobia.
This is why I no longer work with Dion.
Technically, that was literally on the first turn of initiative as well.
Yes, it was literally the first turn, yes.
Yeah, I didn't even get my turn.
Yeah.
Nobody else got their turn.
I would, however, like to jump down and try and loot him.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah, that's
Peace got a surprise shot off on him, and then I just killed him.
So yes, just to really reiterate, as you encountered the CR12 mob boss of the Triceratop Mafia, you kill him in 2 shots and steal his soul.
Yeah.
Presumably also about to loot and steal his room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like how this is the combat you curb stomp, not the the 6 guards with like 27 health. The CR12 mob boss you fucking annihilate.
We were saving ourselves.
Jesus. Like two guards in a cell bloody you and like knock you unconscious a couple
No.
of you.
Yeah. I've been out
More
so many
than
times
bloody
in this
me.
combat. I just wanted to do something good.
Oh wow, that was quite spectacular. Okay.
Rage loot the house. Rage
So
loot
I'm
the
just
house.
gonna assume you loot the house because we're actually at 9 p.m. already,
Yeah.
and you guys have the option of you can either continue this mini adventure at another day, since I'm quite enjoying this. Is a quite good
I
story.
mean,
I would like
we
to
could
continue
yeah,
it.
we could continue this on Friday and have like some other people just join us as random party members that we've found.
You could. Unfortunately, Neil, you'd have to skip the next session of it.
Uh, Somebody could play Jinxie
Yeah.
if they wanted to. They should have access to my sheet.
Mhm.
It's in the Alterra campaign.
Yeah, if you mark it as, we'll talk about this after the stream, but yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
Cool. So, yeah, if that's the case, given that you're gonna loot the room, I feel like that's a good place. Then, having murdered the fucking mob of the Triceratopnoid Mafia, that is where we're going to end part 2 of the rise of the Rapnoids.
Don't forget, we are also, not
Cheers.
directly burning down somebody's house.
Indirectly burning down someone's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the,
And who knows? He could be in that house
Yeah.
with his family.
so the party have
We don't know
discovered
where he went.
one of their NPC expedition allies is with the scholars. And I don't think you asked where the scholars were.
Nope.
They're with the scholars.
Events overtook things.
And the other two are apparently at the palace, which you also didn't ask what one the palace was.
I mean, the palace is definitely the big one at the top with the skull on it.
Oh yeah, definitely, clearly with King Rex.
I mean, it could be this one, like, hide looking over.
Oh, it's tiny.
I mean, who knows? But that is where we're gonna end today's session. The party have some leads, I guess, as to where to look next.
Yeah, this one up here. Yeah, I didn't even see this one in the beginning.
And I will. I guess I could do loot now if the stream wants to see loot.
Yeah, roll the table.
Yeah, because that could help if anybody takes Jinxie on Friday.
Yeah.
Now I don't have dinosaur specific loot, so you're just getting like a standard loot table.
But
Wait.
everything
It
is a
should
bit
be
more
good enough.
dinosaur-y.
I mean, would you not just
I
roll
mean,
off the
flavor-
roll off the primordial table?
Oh, so that's shattered alt sphere specific items. This
Ah.
is like main sphere Alterra mini
You
campaign.
don't have a primordial table for standard, alt spheres.
No, that's called that's just the DMG. I just used the DMG for that one because they actually have artistry here. God, there's the good online one. Where the hell is? Where's my loot? Fucking DMG loot generator.
How the fuck did you get plus 20 to sleight of hand?
Because I'm a thief, baby.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah, but plus 20.
Yeah, I'm a thief, baby.
Hey, this is a tier 3 treasure hoard because he was CR12. All right, who wants to roll me the D100?
Go for it, Neil, because you're not going to be here next week.
You know what? I feel like, yeah, Neil, go ahead and roll me the D100. And roll it with advantage, because you guys absolutely annihilated this, and it was incredible to watch. So you have advantage on the loot table.
I mean,
Especially since this is one of the major
So is
players
it
in the city.
2 hours for a door, people.
Or
2 hours for a door.
D100s.
D100, so roll 2 D100s. I like how there's like there's like 5 like big NPCs in the city, and you've killed one of them.
2. Or did I do that wrong?
You did that wrong.
You did that wrong.
Just roll it from Beyond Sheet.
Ah. 25 and 53.
All right, so the higher the number, the better the loot. So we'll take 53.
Over half.
All right, so we'll do coins later, but you get 2d4 art pieces, which I'll also roll in a second, and 1d4 on the magic item table. I'm just gonna roll a 2d4 here. You gain 4 250 GP art objects, which I'll reflavor them dinosaur-wise. And 1d4 on the magic table. Nope. Can actually do 1d4. Unfortunately, you only get 1. So let's go have a look at Magic Table D. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Magic item table D. Is this the correct one? I think so, yeah. Alrighty then. So go ahead, Neil, since you're gonna spoil you this week, go ahead and roll me another D100. Let's see what magnificent item this
25.
person has.
Mediocre.
Interesting. You find as you're looting through his room, you find a golden chest inscribed with what looks to be air elementals, or even they're a little bit thinner than what you traditionally recognize as air elementals. And those of you with proficiency in nature, or even just high nature checks, would actually recognize it as invisible stalkers, or what is generally denoted as the iconography of invisible stalkers. As inside, sitting on a plush green velvet cushion, is a potion of invisibility.
Ooh.
As you also, as that is your item, you also get a bunch of gold. I don't know if any of you care about gold, or any of you actually tracking gold for these characters.
No.
Oh, really?
Then you also get some art pieces. Does anyone want to know what their art pieces is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone roll me a d10 for your art piece.
I wish for some kind of risque dinosaur picture. Oh, benign.
3. Well, you might get it.
All right. Well, the one he has on his person is a. Let's have a look. Do I want it to be silver? Let's see if I want to modify it. Yeah, is a silver necklace with a gemstone pendant. For the 9, you find a box of turquoise dinosaur figures worth 250 GP. For a 3,
Just
also
to let you
on
know
his
as well, by the
person.
way, that's turquoise, not turquoise.
Yeah. Oh.
It's
A
Rapnoids.
I thought
is
it's the name of
a
a
It's the
dinosaur, I'll be honest
dialect.
with you.
is a
A
large
turquoise.
gold bracelet. Now, each of the dinosaurs is like one of each dinosaur. And for
So,
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
so is it like a chess set made out of like dinosaur turquoise things?
Yes, it's gem dinosaur chess pieces, or
Cool.
what look like chess pieces, like little figurines. A beautiful. You know, kind of like how you get like those crystal like mantelpiece figurines that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that but made of like of gem and incredibly expensive.
Swarovski.
And finally, ooh. Do I want this to be bronze? What element? No, let's go with bronze. I quite like bronze. That's what traditionally what it was there. I'm just like modifying this one to be more dinosaur relevant. The bronze ring of the Trihorn Dawn Mafia,
Ew.
which is this
Take it,
beautiful.
and I flick it to Robin. You got the kill, you get the good stuff.
It should just be Trihorn Mafia, not Trihorn Dawn Mafia. Oh, it should be Trihorn Mafia Dawn. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the ring that signifies he's the boss. You got the boss's ring.
Yeah.
But there you go. There is your. You also get a shit ton of gold, or what passes for gold coinage or coinage in this city, which I don't want to think about right now. For effectively a mini adventure, as this is turning out to be.
Yep.
I just really can't do like one shots. Always turn into. There's just always too. There's too much.
I mean,
Damn.
it does depend on the player as well.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not only an issue if I have time.
yeah. At least this time we weren't trapped in a cage for 2 hours.
A small puzzle that stopped us.
I like how you're so close to getting put back in
Yeah.
that cage.
Robin can buy a new shirt for himself now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But yes,
Robinson's been doing this whole thing shirtless. Well,
that
he's
is
got his scale mail on
Now-
now, but
Now he can afford to buy a new initial embroidered silk shirt.
yeah.
Hasn't been pissed on yet.
Yeah. Has to be
Yeah.
christened.
that has been part 2 of Alterra One Shot Rise of the Rapnoids. The players have assassinated the Dawn of the Trihorn Mafia, and now continue on their rampage through the city, destabilizing the political structure of this unsuspecting civilization. What awaits next time, which presumably will be Friday, in which we continue the adventures of. I'm just gonna call them the party of destabilizers for now.
Yeah,
Actually, no,
I feel
the
you should
Legion Rebellion.
call that one the Three Stooges.
I like the name the Destabilizers.
Stabilizers. Tune in next time to find out which of the political figureheads the party assassinates next time. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. This has been Alterra. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.